in the house tonight. I am super excited. Welcome to Snake Chat. We have the little lad, my boy, Dingo from South Africa in the house. We also have Evan is joining us for the first little bit of the podcast. Evan is from Chicago. He's my VIP guest tonight, so he wanted to join in. So we're going to learn a little bit about Evan and Dingo.
Yes.
What is going on, brother?
I'm here.
Oh
it's
in
been
the flesh.
2.5 years I've been waiting to come.
Oh my gosh.
And then the vid came, ruined our plans.
Oh yeah.
And we are here. We have arrived in Michigan.
Yeah.
And what a day it's been.
And you brought South African weather with you. It's been beautiful today.
Beautiful.
Like I feel the Africa in the air.
As warm as a camel's crotch.
Is that what it's?
He's got great analogies and stuff. Yeah.
Those
great
Africans,
anecdotes.
Those Africans, man. It's so it's seriously. I mean, we met. I don't know. It was about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
We hung out a little bit down by your place. Went to your house. Did a Black Mamba release. And became friends ever since. And I've talked highly in public about you.
Always.
Not as highly behind your back.
Yeah. You should hear what the things he says. I've never even heard half of the words before.
Yeah, exactly. I say things that they're in Afrikaans is what I say about you. No, and Evan, so you're obviously in the house. You're from Chicago. What do you keep some reptiles then?
Yeah, so I keep actually it was 8, but one of them passed away. But so I actually have a YouTube channel all around reptiles.
All around reptiles. All right, give that a shout.
So yeah, it's really fun. I mean I love keeping them, but the cool thing is I'm around Chicago, so I can go to the Tinley Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tinley Park's great. And how does it feel? I mean, how cool is it to come and you're sitting next to a legend here from South Africa? I mean, how
where
cool
is he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was here.
So it's like a complete surprise, right?
Did you know who I am?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, what a legend. I like him.
All right.
Yes.
I mean,
no one doesn't know who Dingo is. Come on now.
I know Chandler's Wildlife really talks highly of you.
Oh, cool.
Really? But not until 3 minutes into the video. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Did I just say that?
Brian.
Did I? No, I listen. I stay out of drama. I love Chandler. He's my boy. I love Kevin. He's my boy.
That's right,
so,
baby.
So both my love. But I had to get that.
It's a good joke. It's a good joke.
I'm going to both of their places in the next 7 days.
You guys,
it's gonna be fun.
just listen, man.
You'll have a blast at both.
I think that there's a chance that maybe you could bridge that gap. I think
I'm going to try.
Yeah, because I mean they're both great guys. They're both
great for the hobby.
Great for the hobby.
Yeah.
Both, and I know, and I've said this 100 times now. I know if they get in a room together, they're going to love each other.
Yeah, they're going to kiss for sure.
They're both weirdos. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're both, Kevin on his own, there's something's wrong. You know what I mean?
There's a lot wrong.
Chandler on his own, something's wrong.
A lot wrong, yeah.
But
together it makes it all
animals.
right.
Exactly.
It makes it all right together.
2 halves make a whole. You know what I mean?
Yep. And they're both missing half.
I think the introduction to each other was a bad one. And I think that's kind of marred what happens after that.
Yeah.
But you mates with both. I'm mates with both.
Yeah. And we both know them where it's like we love Kevin, we love Chandler, and
they should love each other.
Yeah, I mean, if we're decent enough, judge of character. If we like both of them, obviously they got to be good guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which, by the way, let's just say thank you guys for the supers to start off. We got Heidi in the house.
Heidi says.
So you guys, anyone that has any questions for Dingo, Evan, myself, you can talk about anything. Please, let's keep this chat going. I know that Dingo has one of his people in the house, Laura. So let's let me
rip through these real quick. So our boy Caleb, future Reptarium employee.
Caleb, what's going on?
He says, "Love you all. We miss you, brother."
So Caleb, Dingo's going to be down at Gatorland. You know when you're going to be down there?
8th and 9th of May.
8th and 9th. So
get your booty up there.
Get your booty over there too.
Yeah.
Will I mess you up if people start showing up there?
No.
You love meeting people, right?
Yeah,
You're
I
a
love
real
people.
person. Yeah, you love people.
Maybe 2 will come.
Yeah, no.
Get ready, dude.
So Caleb is a really cool guy. His family's really cool. He's a future Reptarium employee.
So one day self-appointed.
He's decided.
Guerrilla marketing, really.
Yeah.
It's good.
But ironically enough, when we first saw that, we were kind of like, oh boy, this stalker alert.
Yeah.
But actually, he's a really good guy.
And he probably could be.
He could really be a future Reptarium employee.
And not a stalker.
Yeah,
That's
and then
great.
Laura Wilcox.
Laura Wilcox says, "Hey guys, can't wait to see you tomorrow."
This lady
is
she's amazing.
Great. She's
Don't
great.
steal her though.
No, I'm talking to her tomorrow
Laura,
about getting off the Dingo boat.
She is one of our greatest supporters, has been for a few years now.
Oh, man.
She's coming, especially, she's flying in. She's staying somewhere in
Where's she
Michigan
from? Do you know?
I should.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
Kirsty! No, I've forgotten where she's from. She's from America.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. She's flying from Australia. That's
from America.
It's a really good one.
I've got some supporters.
Yeah.
And she's coming in. She's joining us for our party tomorrow night.
VIP, which is going to be awesome.
Oh, she's coming here?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
wow.
booked,
That's
mate.
awesome.
Yeah,
Good
by the
stuff.
time she leaves, she's not even going to talk to Dingo again.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure we get her on the BHB.
Laura,
We're going to get a
Ignore
picture of her in the
Ignore
pod
him.
cave, you know?
Yeah.
Ignore him. He's much nicer than he seems. so she's coming. I'm sorry. And it was her birthday yesterday. Or
It was
the
her
day
birthday.
before.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So yeah, we're just gonna. It's lovely to meet people.
But listen, it is super important to have people like Laura in your life. You know, the supporters that help you live your dream. And I think that's what people don't understand. You know, even like you, Evan, you know, coming here tonight and doing the VIP experience. You know, without you guys, we can't follow our dreams, right?
Yeah.
And so I, you know, thank Evan, I thank everyone in the super chat, I thank all of my followers, because without them we're nothing, right?
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
we'd be working in, you know, shoveling, you know, cow poop or something like that, right? You know, so it's good on you guys, and I can't wait to meet
We're
you.
all just reptile nerds.
Yeah, we all just love it, and some of us are lucky that we're able to, you know, follow our
That's
you know,
right.
dream a little bit more, but that doesn't mean you can't follow your dream. You're 16, right?
Yep.
Think what you could be at 26, you know?
What I would give to be
26.
16.
I know, right?
Oh,
I know.
Got a whole
young
life ahead,
stud
brother.
muffin,
I-
ready to take on the world.
Well, that's a good question. Have you ever heard the thing, would you take $1 million, or I don't know if it's $1 million, but let's just say, would you take $1 million but lose 10 years of your life? Or would you go back? How does that go, Jay?
Dude, I don't know
Jay,
where
it's
you're
something
going
like,
from,
it's something
bro.
like, would you take $1 million? Maybe it's you take $1 million to stay your age, or lose the $1 million and go back.
Go
to 20,
back?
but then lose everything you know. Or the 20, you know, the. Yeah,
That's the hard
thing.
one,
'Cause,
right?
Yeah, we all want to be 20, but we want to
Yeah.
retain all of
Yeah.
our knowledge, right?
Not make the same mistakes.
I have
yeah.
a view. No offense, Evan, or maybe Jay. How old's Jay?
I'm 28, brother.
He's like
Ah, no.
23.
Anyone
I'm
under
47.
30 is dumb. That's
Yeah,
my opinion.
Facts.
Because I look at myself. I didn't think I was. I thought I was quite sharp.
Oh, we all did.
And then you turn 30 and you think, how have I been so stupid? You know,
Yeah.
how can you be so dumb and still breathe?
Yeah.
And then you turn 40, which was a year and a half ago now.
Oh man.
And I'm
you're
like,
really
how
old now.
dumb have I been? So hopefully that continues. But,
It does. I'm 52.
Yeah,
so
I was dumb
trust
as
me
hell
what-
yesterday.
I'll be honest with you. I tell people I figured life out in my mid 40s.
Yeah.
That's when I figured life out. You know, that, I mean, that doesn't mean that life is great every day of the, but I like when I hit about 45 is when I go, okay, now I get it. Now I get now I get what I'm supposed to be doing here. And so I get you 100%. And at 16, but at the same time, when you're 16, 22, 28, you got your life ahead of you. It's so
Yeah,
exciting.
dude.
You know what I mean? It's like, just think of the adventures you can have. And, but that being said, do you know, we have something that's called the AARP, which is like the retired people.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And when they surveyed all the people in the AARP that were in their 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
the most common by far, like 90% of the advice that they gave was one thing. And it said, to get advice to people in
Younger,
their 20s or 30s. It said, live your life for today.
Yes, sir.
Don't wait for tomorrow.
You know that's me, baby.
You know, so there you go.
Amazing, huh?
So at 16, live your life for today.
Yep.
And today you're chilling on a podcast with legends, dude. I can't. I could not imagine what you feel like right now. It's got to be crazy. I'm sure.
Yeah,
It is. It's crazy. I'm excited to be here. I mean,
Yeah, it's awesome.
I've been watching both Brian and you for goodness years. I mean,
That's awesome, dude.
you before the Reptarium was even
Wow,
a
yeah.
thing. Like,
Well, he's very old, so.
I am very old.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a big catalog.
You don't understand. I'll get people that are like, look like they're 35, but they're maybe 30, and they'll like their beards, they're like whatever, and they're like, I've been watching you since I was in 5th grade. And I'm like, geez, slow down, pump the brakes a little bit here, you know, like
Lie to me.
Yeah, say like 10 years. Don't say like, you know.
Since I was a wee laddie.
Yeah, it's like, sheesh. But no, it's a good thing. So Dingo, you're working on a park yourself.
Yeah.
Where are you at in that process?
So there's a couple of things we're working on. I've got a dream. I have a dream.
Yes.
And it is a very exciting one. So you've been to South Africa.
Sure.
South Africa, we are very far behind kind of the movements that happen in the States with in terms of how animals are kept, how parks operate. There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jay.
That microphone
very
looked great.
helpful.
Yeah.
No, I can see my face. So we're just behind in many of those areas. So one of the reasons we come on this trip is we want to see how other guys do it, who do it better. We want to learn from them.
Sure.
I believe in being a sponge and sucking up all the information I can.
Sure, absolutely.
And I want to learn off mistakes guys like you have made, Savannah, Gatorland, and other people.
Thankfully, I haven't made any.
Yeah,
so.
not one. He's perfect.
So I want to learn off all the riffraff's mistakes.
It's hard to be humble. You know? It's hard to be humble.
I want to
when
do
you're
this
as perfect as me. Yeah.
So I want to do that and learn that.
Yeah.
So we bought the property about 2 years ago.
Right.
And it is a brand new property. It's never been
How big
used.
is it?
It's 50 acres.
50
Whoa.
acres.
Wow.
Now, what's a hectare to an acre? Is that the same or is it
20? No, it's 20 hectares, 50 acres. So it's a 20 hectare farm we've bought.
Okay, so you got 50 acres, 20 hectares. Okay, got you.
And it's not in the main city. It's a bit out because we need the space, you know.
Sure.
And it's got farms around it. So my dream is I'm going to buy like, I don't know because the neighbors there are a bit cranky.
Yeah.
I want to buy 4 or 5 of their farms down the line and make the most magnificent thing Africa's ever seen.
Wow.
So we're in the process now where we've purchased the land, we fenced it in. We planted about 700 indigenous trees there, took all the rubbish off.
Right.
But because the land's never been used before for anything, we have to get zoning done.
Yeah.
So the zoning process is about a 2-year process. And we're busy with that now.
Right.
We've got our submission to go in now, but to do the submission, it's not a lot of money in US terms, but it's a lot for us. It's $10,000 we need to put that through now, the final submission. Then it takes about 6 months to about 9 months for that to go through. So I'm hoping if we can get that done fairly soon, we can break ground early next year.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'll give us a year's building until the first stage is ready.
Yeah, you'll be stage 1. You'll be open to the public and then just
we'll
build
never
out.
Stop.
It's
like
you never
what you
do. Yes, you're never going to stop.
That's what you did for.
Yeah.
I mean, you just had the part 1, and then you're going on.
Part
2. Now you're going on to like part 4 and 5.
4 and 5. Yeah, it's hard to do everything at once.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you take it in steps, but it's going to be. And you know, South Africa is like really. I think it's very special. You know what I mean? Like it has its ups and downs. You know, like anything. You know, I mean, there's good and bad to it.
Sure.
But it's still one of my favorite places on the planet. You know, hence my arm is you know, all animals from South Africa, and well, not all. There's some from other parts of Africa as well. But you know, there's the continent of Africa is really special. And again, I've never lived there, so I'm sure there's challenges. You know, but as a visitor, it's the most special place.
I can only imagine, for sure.
It's just I can't wait to take Jay there next year. We're going next May, obviously, with Heidi, who's in the house. We're going to the expo next May, and we can't wait to get back there and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it's really an inspiration. And the thing is, you're going to have all animals then? You're going to do, I mean, like the big 5? I mean, what are you going to do?
No, so we're not going to, my kind of belief is that you can keep any animal you want, but it needs to be kept right. So that's what we're trying to change in Africa.
Okay.
I don't want to take an animal, put it in a small enclosure where it doesn't fit, and people are coming and saying, "Shame, look at the animal." You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
The best example I've got, we were once called out to a snake rescue. There was a puff adder in a park with dogs and kids around. Mm-hmm. And we got the puff adder, we put it in a bucket. And in the bucket, you know, for puff adder, for people in Africa, it's a very common snake. It's not like, it's not overly exciting. It's a puff adder. It's a landmine of Africa.
Snake for us.
Yeah, it's not whoop-de-doo, you know? And in the bucket, it's nothing pretty.
Right.
And then Kirsty and I, we went out into, Kirsty's my wife, for those of you wondering. We went out into a forest and we released it in the forest.
Yeah.
And we saw it go off in that caterpillar motion.
Oh, that's cool.
And
dude.
suddenly there's like a tear running down your eye.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's like, this is how you're meant to see a puff adder.
Yeah.
And what we want to do at the park, that's kind of a mini view of what we want to do, is I want people to look at animals where they are in as much as possible their natural environment, where they can fall in love with them like I have. I want them to see animals like I get to see them, like you get to see
awesome.
them.
Yeah.
So we're lucky. We've got decent sized land to start off with on phase 1. We're going to have giraffe there. We're going to have antelope species that you can feed and interact with. So it's not like a game reserve where you're looking with your binoculars and they're miles away, you know?
Right, yeah. There's a lot of those.
And you see a stripe in a bush.
Yeah.
That's what Africa, you got that in Africa.
Yeah.
And we need to understand, I think, that we're living in a generation where kids particularly, if they want to see something, it's there. It's available all the time.
Yep.
So we need to give them an experience where they can come and have that interaction. It's all about, for me, building a connection between people and animals.
Sure.
So I want to facilitate that as best we can. So I want them to see the giraffe, but not from a mile away. I want them to see it from
But you don't,
away.
But you want it to be in an enclosure that's cool enough to where they don't feel bad for it.
So we've got an enclosure where we'll have probably 3 giraffe in it, and that enclosure is 12 acres. So we're looking at
Wow.
35.
Wow.
That's a lot.
No, sorry, 12 hectares.
Okay.
So
Which is
it's
more, right?
35 acres.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that'll have 3 giraffe in it, or have a couple of antelope and stuff. And then we'll have a vehicle, but we're going to
that's
go.
cool,
We're going
yeah.
Africa. We're not going fancy America. We're having a tractor with some trailers behind.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah,
It's like
And
the
we go-
haunted hayride of
There we
Africa.
go. And we chug up the hill and we go through. And I want to have rhino one day, but that walk free in that area and then
Yeah,
come
yeah.
in for interactions where people can see them.
How cool.
So it's kind of a mixture between a game reserve vibe and a traditional zoo vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
They're in enclosures, 100%. They are being supplementary fed. They're not surviving off the grass. But at the same time, you are seeing them walking through the savannah with a beautiful fever tree. And it's
sick.
just, that's how I want to show animals.
Yeah.
Reptiles are slightly different because
Sure. Yeah.
free range reptiles aren't really.
Yeah, you're
They're
not going to
frowned
find
upon.
them. Yeah, not to mention, it's like, in this enclosure, that's for 12 hectares.
There's a tokay gecko. There's one tokay.
But no, I think, listen, one of the probably most special moments I ever had in Africa was with you. And it's when we released black mambas back into the wild.
Incredible, huh?
And that was such a special thing for me.
He talks about it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot. And I don't remember, what was the river do you remember the river we're at?
Yeah, it comes out of a place called Mulwaney.
Yeah, and this beautiful river, and
picturesque cliffs.
just seeing that mamba just jump in that water and swim away
remember
with
that
his
video.
head up, and I mean, it gave me chills. You know, I mean, it really did. And I always tell people I love going out herping, but I don't really. The catching of a snake is one thing; it's the releasing the snake that I love. You know,
amazing.
even if I'm just holding it for 30 seconds and then I set it back down in the wild and I just see it just crawl away happy, and I think to myself, wow, that's just such a special experience. But with the black mamba, say black mamba.
Black mamba.
Black mamba.
Black mamba.
Black mamba. Black
Mamba.
mamba.
I sound like that. That's depressing. Look at the black mamba.
Hey, look at the black mamba.
So good. Dude.
Say it, Evan. Give me a
Yeah, give me your best
Black
dingo.
mamba.
what does it say?
Oh,
Black mamba.
Ooh, whoa.
That's a radio voice.
That sounds more like something that's an adult channel there or something. No, wait a second. This is a kids
This
audience
is for
here.
families.
It's for families there. Evan, calm down. But that was a really special experience. Let's hit a couple supers before we get too far off track here.
You got it. Becky throwing some lizard love. Thank
Becky,
you so
what's
much,
going on?
girl.
I hope she sent that lobster stuff.
It's still not here?
And then it was what was it called? Clam?
Oh, God, bar clams. Yeah.
She said bar clams and lobster.
What a calamity,
you
know?
You
they're
wouldn't.
frozen.
I don't think
We
so.
don't know,
I don't.
dude.
I don't know. I don't know what they are.
I wouldn't eat them now.
I don't
You
know.
don't think
man.
so?
I
Why?
Are
What do
they
you think
still
so?
in? Are they FedExed or what?
Yeah, they're like in transit. It could take a couple
I think
months.
she's
I
just.
think.
I think she's hiking here with. them.
Yeah. She said she's going to come over if they don't show up this time.
Evan can try one first.
Yeah. You try one first. If you live.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have someone else try one.
Yeah,
before I do.
Mike.
Yeah, wait 12 hours. After 12 hours, I'm eating the hell out of it, man.
Mark.
What did
Heidi
have?
says,
Heidi.
"How's it, Dingo?" And Brian sending love to y'all.
Oh,
Yeah. Heidi's great, isn't
love
she?
her.
Yeah.
She's super
We were
good.
talking a few weeks ago about next year May.
Yeah.
When you coming over.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come join you up there.
Oh no way!
Well,
Really?
we definitely want. I want you to come back up, but I'll be. I'll come down to KZN too. I mean, for sure. I mean, I can't not
You
get
come
down
stay
to.
at my house.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you have a beautiful place, by the way.
Thank you,
I love
appreciate
your building, your house, your land. I mean, it's beautiful. Gosh, the sunsets there have to be incredible. No,
Amazing, huh?
there's no sunset better than an African
sunset. No way, dude.
It's
That
ridiculous.
burnt red.
But you're coming back in winter.
Oh, so there's still sun in the winter, no?
Yeah, at least where we live.
Yeah, it is nice.
At
down
least
there.
where we live,
Yeah.
it's coolish in the mornings. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like Michigan, though.
No, yeah. it's-
And even in winter, it's getting to, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, Joe, you can help me, like 20 degrees Celsius.
yeah, that's not bad.
It's warm. You're
70s,
taking your
yeah,
jersey
70s,
off for that.
Yeah, 70s.
So that's all right.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my
that's the
weather,
thing. Down
Dingo.
by you, it's not bad. Like you said, up north,
Joburg's
it's yeah. I spent when I shot Brian in the Wild, the
Right.
documentary. I was up in Limpopo. In I think it was in May, and it was cold.
Yeah.
It was cold.
yeah, I remember you
It's as
told
cold
me
as
that.
a witch's tits up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It do be.
in a brass bra.
Good addition.
Yeah,
very good.
But the thing was we'd go out in the morning, and I was shooting, so I always had shorts and a t-shirt on, you know. And so you go out in the morning, it'd be freezing cold. But then about noon or so, that summer or even the winter sun warms it up to a mild temperature.
Yeah.
But I really loved it up there. We were right on the border of the Kruger, a park called Jakudu. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. Really cool park. It was nice because you could get out and walk.
Yeah.
You could get out of the Jeep and stuff like that. And we were able to interact with not interact, but get on the ground with rhinos and everything. So it was really cool. Because that's the one thing that's tough with some of the bigger parks, is what's the big park down in your area? Ralph.
Llywelyn in Fallosi, that's where you went.
What is it called?
Llywelyn in Fallosi.
Jesus.
Sounds like
what's
flu?
Tell me.
Is that a flu strain?
Llywelyn in Fallosi.
So tell me the American version of that, because I have no idea.
It's spelled HLUHLUWE.
Wow.
Pump that out.
That's like when you take the magnets on the refrigerator and mix them all up. It sounds like a flu strain.
Wow.
But what you're saying, and that's the problem, that's where we're really lucky. So, in my opinion, we live in the best continent in the world in terms of animals. I mean, herbivores kill more people than most people's carnivores kill. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
And so we live in this area, but a lot of people who come over to Africa for a visit, they have to stay in this big, fancy, expensive 5-star lodge, which is charging dollars.
Yeah.
Which the rest of South Africa is really cheap for foreigners to come to.
Oh my gosh.
So they stay in this fancy lodge, then they get on a game vehicle and they go through with we call them verkykers in Afrikaans, they're binocs. A verkyker is a far looker. Shout out to the Afrikaans people. But they look through their verkykers at a rhino far away. It's a cool name.
It is. I love it.
Afrikaans people are very literal, so it's a far looker.
Far looker.
They didn't think too much. Binoculars is a bit too complicated.
Far
looker. That's what it does.
Better,
It looks far.
That's great.
So they'll come and they're looking from a distance, and then they go have a fancy dinner, and then they go out for another game drive. And we actually opening up. I'm not trying to punt our thing here, but I'm punting it now.
I want
now I'm punting it.
Please punt.
In July and August, we're doing our first volunteer program we've done 2 years again now, where mainly Americans actually and some Aussies. They come across and they join us for, depending, 2 weeks. I wouldn't come under 2 weeks. You know what the flights are like. It'll knock you out. But they come for 2 weeks up to 2 months if they want to, and they volunteer with us. And what we try to do is give them the African experience that we have. Where we go to reserves, which our mates are running, where you see a buffalo. Or you see a snake track and you get out of the vehicle and you walk into the bush. And there are lions there and there's rhino and there's elephant. But we're with guys who know what to look for, etc., etc. But that makes Africa come alive to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much different. But you got see, this is the thing. You got to remember, to those far lookers, it's cool. You know what I mean? They're not like us, right? They're not like what we want. Like if I couldn't do that. I couldn't go to a fancy place
and just stare through binoculars.
And stare through binoculars. I mean, I gotta get up close. And I was very fortunate, when we did the Brian in the Wild Adventure, I was there for I think 37 days. And literally we were in the bush the entire time. Like we never had like a TV once, where we stayed in bush camps. We stayed in sometimes just huts. We stayed in Dumu. I don't know, if Dumu is, that's up north a little bit, but it's like the Zulu area. And we stayed literally like total Afrikaans. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I remember, I tell the story, Jay's heard me say, like, I remember going back to Joburg and going to, like, it was, the production was done. So we're like, hey, we're going to spend one night in a nice hotel after sleeping in barely you're showering in the showers in the bush huts, you know what I mean? They're like cement, whatever. If you're lucky, you've got a shower. Sometimes you don't even have a shower. And every meal was on a braai, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Is there anything else?
There isn't actually. I mean, and for people that don't know, a braai is
no
like
Timmy Ho's over there?
A braai is like a barbecue. It's absolutely, I mean, we never ate. We always ate outside for 30-something days.
That's so cool.
And you never ate inside anytime, The only time, I take that back, we were at one camp in a place called Tembe. It was an elephant park. And they had indoor, and it was great. They had indoors for just a kitchen. And we went into town on the way in, and it was in Josini, and we bought some eggs and some, Oh God, what I don't know how to pronounce this here. Hors d'oeuvres. What is it?
Hors d'oeuvres?
No.
hell's a hors
The sausage. Hors d'oeuvres.
Boerewors.
Porvers. What's it called?
Boerewors.
Porvers. Boerewors.
I like
Absolutely amazing. So, anyways, so we bought like stuff for breakfast and stuff like that. We were out, out doing some cruising around the park. It was a huge park. They had, I think they had 57 lions in the park and all in the wild and stuff like that. By the way, we ended up getting caught. Like our truck got stuck and we were out there. We couldn't get out for like an hour. It was in here. There's lions everywhere and stuff like that.
So
but
cool.
But when we came back, the vervet monkeys had destroyed everything. Destroyed everything. They got into the thing. All the eggs were gone.
Terrible.
Like everything. So that was the only day that we would have eaten inside, and we didn't even have any food to eat. But yeah, vervet monkeys.
Well, the volunteers come over, and the first thing they see is a monkey because there's monkeys everywhere, and they're like, "Oh, how cute is that?" And all of us South Africans are rolling our eyes. They are a pest.
Yeah.
They're like rats.
Yeah.
Except the rat can come in your window.
Very intelligent rat. Yeah.
Poos all over your house. It'll go, Ev. It'll go get on your bed and do a poo in your bed. It's unnecessary. You steal the apple. Don't poo on the bed. That's not
Spiteful almost,
It's not on.
Just looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty brilliant, to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, let's hit a couple more.
Roberta says, Dingo!
Yes.
Love y'all.
Roberta.
What's
Love
going
you.
on?
Grape Eater says,
Grape Eaters from our channel.
Yeah, it says, I love you both. Sorry I can't donate more, but glad you finally got to America, Dingo.
Thank you, Grape. We appreciate you.
It's nice
Grape
you
Eater.
finally having some classy people on your chat.
I know it's the first time
ever.
First time ever. I mean, normally it's just Heidi. And
Yeah, it's good
people like
grammar
her.
this time. There's really good grammar today.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
No, we just play.
No, we love all our people.
The Reptile Verse says, glad to see you
Reptiverse.
both podcasting together. I finally started Venomous training. Thanks to both for your inspiration.
I wonder where you started. Do you know that person? Reptileverse?
You have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm not
I'm
sure.
just wondering if they're venomous training like in another country or because it's really not venomous training in America, right? There's no place you can like volunteer.
It's American dollars, though.
But you're not gonna like get hands on with venomous. Like, and I think that. So let me ask you that in South Africa, do you need like a permit to own venomous, and do you need X amount of hours before you get that permit, or is it just like no?
No, we self-taught.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wanted Venomous since I was 4.
Okay.
So you've seen my son running around today. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like him
Yeah.
without the access to the animals. You know?
Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
my dad worked for like the fish and wildlife version
Really?
back in the day.
Wow,
Okay.
that's cool.
But he wasn't really out in the bush so much. Or he was, but he took us out all the time. And he got me my first snake book when I was 4 years old. Fell in love, page 42, Gaboon Viper. Why wouldn't you?
It'll get you.
know me.
It'll get you.
And every year I want a Gaboon Viper. He says, under my roof, no venomous.
Really?
So I had like all the house snake and all that stuff,
yeah.
And then the day I moved out the house, I went to a friend's place that owned a snake park. I bought myself some baby Western Diamondback rattlesnakes, which were all the
Whoa.
rave back then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hello.
Yeah, they're
rattlesnake.
A-tracks, yeah, they're
Whoa.
beautiful.
And I bought some
Tomorrow's
banded,
video has 8 tracks in them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
play with some tomorrow,
Yeah.
too.
banded
Sure.
snouted cobra babies. I got some little baby puff adders.
You went all out, man.
all out. And I got a green mamba.
Ooh. Say it one more time. Say it one more time
One
for
green
me, Dingo.
mamba. I got a green
He
mamba.
said
No, hit the
mamba. He
mamba.
said
You gotta hit the
mamba.
mamba.
He
No,
said green mamba.
The Aussies and some confused South Africans say mamba, but we say mamba.
You say
said
mamba.
mamba.
Yeah.
I apparently say quite ma.
I love
Some
it.
people say ma.
I like the man.
Ma.
Ma.
Mamba.
Mamba. But I don't say
Mamba.
it slow like I'm having a stroke. I say mamba.
Mamba.
Not mamba. You know what I mean?
Mamba.
My wife's having a heart attack because I mentioned stroke now.
Oh, no.
She's quite PC, my dear wife.
Oh no. Don't worry. Our
what does that
audience
say?
doesn't care.
Yeah.
What is that saying, Evan?
You were talking about buying all of the
I
venomous
was trying to
snakes.
see if he was paying attention.
Evan, help him out, dude.
I'm
Come
sorry,
on, let's
brother.
go.
How old were you when you?
No, I was old. I was 21. Huh? But
Yeah, but to go from
I got 5 years.
zero to a
Yeah,
collection
That's crazy.
Well,
and adding
I had
a
nowhere
green
to keep
mamba
it.
into it, a mamba into it.
I had nowhere to keep it, so
So
maybe I
like
must-
shoe boxes or what?
I probably shouldn't put this out there, but so what happened is I'd moved out the house, and my parents said, "No, I was staying with a pastor of our church, right?" And I didn't tell him I was getting the snakes, so I just
Oh,
stuck them
that's
in my
nice.
room
He
in
probably
plastic
helped.
boxes while I was making a plan. And he had three.
Sounds like us.
He had 3 young kids, you know. So I'm talking long time, 20 years. Give me a bit of.
He said 20-year-olds were stupid. So
Exactly. That's how I know, If.
yeah,
This is the proof here, Ev.
So, so he came to me. He says, "Listen, I don't want to be like horrible, but I don't feel so comfortable about a whole bunch of venomous snakes
You say. You don't say.
on the property with my kids around."
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't
like,
have
no, I've got
enclosures
lots
for
of
them.
experience. I'm good.
I just got him.
I've got great experience with non-venomous local snakes, but I can handle it. Look here. And so then another mate, he conned his parents into letting us move the snakes to his place, and he had a kindergarten. His mom ran a kindergarten from the property,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Are you sure?" So yeah, fine.
So it's like put the snakes at the kindergarten.
Yeah, so it was right next door to the kindergarten.
That's
kindergarten
very
outside
safe.
in the garage. What do you guys call garage?
Yeah, garage. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Garage.
We call
Garage.
it
Garage.
we call it crotch.
Crotch. Yeah, they call it crotch. They call it crotch.
The crotch out back. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So the kindergarten was there, and then in their lounge became my snake room.
Ah.
And in the beginning, this is embarrassing to say, I had a glass fish tank.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't have a lid for it. For my green
Oh,
mamba.
mambas can't get out of
For
that.
what?
No.
So
They can't
for
get
my
out
green
of
mamba.
Get out.
So what happened is I got a piece of cardboard, right?
That's good
And
enough,
I cut
man.
it out the same size.
It's gonna
And
work.
then I got duct tape
Oh yeah.
and I
Duct
stuck
tape
it on the outside, and then I cut a slot on the top.
so it could breathe.
Yeah. So I could open it. It's my opening.
Oh, so you're opening
Because I
it.
couldn't take a tape off every time I wanted to play with the mamba. And then I
No,
put like
no,
I
not
should
at
not
all.
be saying this on the thing. And I put a
CIA,
rubber mat
baby.
on the top so it couldn't push out.
Oh yeah.
And then I had to go away for a while. So I moved the mamba to my mate's house.
Okay.
He's not a snake guy.
Same setup though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't buy a new tank. I just had it. Come on.
TIA, right, bro?
This is Africa.
DIY. Yeah.
No, TIA.
Oh yeah. Oh
is
yeah.
Africa, right?
TIA. Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm away, right? At
Yeah.
this, I can't remember what I was doing. I was looking for black mambas in the bush actually, because I thought, let me upgrade.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got another
You
thing.
got
Cardboard.
lots of experience
I can't
now.
afford to buy it. You know what I'm
I got
saying?
more cardboard. I can work this out.
And duct tape. I had half a roll of duct
Make
tape.
the whole
there.
enclosure out of it.
So what happens is I get a phone call while I'm away, and this is just when cell phones have just arrived in South Africa, you know. So I take it out, open the aerial, hold it
Right.
like this, and then so his name's Joe. So Dingo, we got a problem. So I said, what's the problem, Joe? So I'm fairly relaxed with most things,
Yeah.
and people have problems about. Come on, man, it's not a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Chill out. He says the green mamba's out. So I said, what do you mean it's out? No, he walked
What?
into
The
this
cardboard
room.
didn't keep it in?
I could
And
not believe that.
He didn't tell his mom we were keeping the green mamba at the house. So it was him and his mom who lived in the house.
Oh no.
He had hidden in the bedroom. So he walked into the bedroom just to check it's all fine, and the green mom was out. It was on top of the curtain rail. Now, my mate Joe, he's not a snake guy, right? So now I'm like,
Scare me.
so I'm 2 hours away. I can't get back.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, okay, Joe, we're gonna have to get back. He says, listen, my mom is gonna kill me if she walks in here, and there's a green mamba loose in the house.
Yeah.
And
Not
got
the mamba
cats.
kills her first, man.
So I'm like, fortunately, green mambas, they're pretty cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Like if
Compared-
it was
yeah.
a black, I must tell you a story.
Hit it.
I hope there's no like wildlife authorities from South Africa listening to this one.
No, there wouldn't be.
Okay, good. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night. Hell,
Well, the next
we
super chat's
ban- we
from
ban-
Wildlife of Africa.
We
I'm
ban-
applying
we
for
ban them.
permits at the moment. So,
Yeah.
so I must tell you the black mamba story. But so the green mamba. So now I'm teaching him how to get it off there. But we didn't have hook sticks.
Over the phone.
Yeah, over the phone. Bad reception in my area.
I thought you were there.
And we don't have snake hooks, right?
No, why would you?
Because
Yeah.
I hadn't developed that yet.
Yeah. Right.
Developed it. I hadn't made my own. I'll tell you about my
Yeah.
first snake hook too. Evan, you're in for a treat. So so what happens is he finds a dowel rod. You know what a dowel rod is?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking if you've got them, yeah?
We got dowel rods.
And you know, like if you lift, it's not a great hook because
No,
as you
because it
lift
slides down.
it slides down.
Yeah. Yeah. It slides
So I'm like Joe, and on a curtain rail they hook themselves around.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So he's short. So he's holding up like this on the dowel rod. I said, Joe, make sure it doesn't slide down onto your hand. And it wasn't I'd had them on for like a week. So as and it was a wild rescue. As he hooks it,
The story just keeps getting
More
it starts
dangerous.
sliding down towards So someone else is holding the phone. I just hear, Mamba slides down. Joe somehow manages. Joe's never touched a mamba in his life, ever. No tailing it. No, he doesn't touch. He's never moved a puff at her. On a dowel rod, he gets this mamba into its box.
Wow.
Mat back on. We had to change the lid after that, though.
Oh yeah.
What a
yeah.
shame.
More duct tape.
So my point is that then I'm
Double up.
talking like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
It was trial and error. You learn as you go.
Sure.
I got bitten 5 times in 2 years.
Oh well. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
Finally got rid of the cardboard lid.
Green mamba, dry bite, because I was trying to be a hero.
Good.
I was actually spading my wife. You know what spading means?
No, we don't know what that
Let me
means.
teach you, Ev. So spading is like chaffing, we call it, flirting.
Oh, yeah, flirting.
Ooh.
Putting around. What do you call it now?
I'd say, yeah.
If you're going to have to
probably,
work
right?
good on that. Where's your game?
Spit and game. That's probably what it would be.
Spit and
Spit and game would be what it is.
Right.
Game, yeah.
So I was talking to her.
Yeah.
Spit and game, yeah.
Sorry, am I talking too much?
No, I love this.
Dingo,
Is it right?
chill.
I don't want to talk at all.
I'm talking to her, right? Ev, I'm going to tell you the moves. This is how you do it.
This
You
is
got-
like-
Listen
you got a
closely,
girlfriend?
Ev. He's breaking it down.
You got a girlfriend yet?
No, not yet.
Well, you're about
What
to.
snakes you got?
A corn snake. That's it.
Yeah, you're going to battle with that. So
Okay, first thing you need is a mamba.
green mamba.
Get a green mamba. You're in good shape.
My mom would kill me.
So she's actually talking to me, and I had the snake. By then it had been relaxed. I had progressed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had a tank for it now,
Yeah.
and it was cool. And so I was being stupid. I was young and dumb, and I was free handling it, and it went around the leg of a table.
Oh.
And so it was just hooked around. So
Yeah.
I just grabbed it to pull it off. And obviously, when I pulled it, it didn't like it. So it hit me in my forearm. Boom.
Ooh.
So this is my first bite ever, other than a night at
Sure.
non-venomous.
Oh, what was going through your head? You were probably freaking out, huh?
Well, I was so distracted by the beauty in front of me. No,
Damn, he just broke it
she's
down for you.
watching.
Do you see how he
She's
broke it
watching.
down for you, Ev?
she's probably not. You see that? You just slip it in there.
That was it. That was
See,
what is
what
it?
you
What
do,
you call
you
it?
slip
Spading?
it in is like, if I died today, I'd be happy
Yeah.
because I'm with you.
Yeah. All that mattered in that
how-
moment was
yeah.
my
Just-
wife.
Just
Yeah.
falls flat on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you act a little bit irresponsible, and she's like, "Oh my boy, I'll sort him out." So you have to be a project.
Yeah.
I wanna
yeah,
work
you gotta
on
be
a
worked
project.
on.
Yeah.
And
Look
then you
at
have
Lori.
to be tough, like, "Oh, broken arm, no problem. Let's go, babe." So
We gotta start charging more for these VIPs, man.
This is quality.
This is quality.
This is quality.
Quality.
Evan's leaving a different man tonight.
Do you know?
He came in a boy. He's leaving a man.
I dated her for 10 days. Asked her to marry me. She said yes.
Wow.
She can't even say yes to anything now. She takes so long.
You
to
took
make
the
a
last
decision.
one, yeah.
And then 4 months later, married. 13 years ago, buddy. That's how you do
Woo!
it.
Congratulations.
But you warm it up with the green mamba.
Yeah, my
Green mamba
parents got married in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Or not married, but engaged and then
Okay.
married. So.
Was it a whoopsie?
No, it was.
Yeah, like, and then Evan was born 9 months later.
well, the crazy part is that's what everyone said. Like, oh, we're like my parents.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, we're engaged. Like,
Oh.
is there something else you need to tell us? No. We're just married. But the reason was, my dad was like moving. I don't know, states or somewhere else. So it was now or never to get married. So
That's
you know,
awesome.
We're still together. So
There we go.
There you go. It worked out.
there we
And-
go.
And they have 16 years later. They got everything.
15 years later, they're still
Yeah.
together.
Want to hit a couple troopers
You
before
got
we
it.
get on to the next story?
Turkey lipsticks.
Turkey lipsticks in the house.
So excited this thing's going on here. Love you guys both.
Thank you
That's
so
a
much.
disturbing name.
We
No,
all
it's-
say it,
it's
and they're
actually-
coming back with
it's-
another one.
Ooh, here we go.
He said dingo. Okay, instead of thing. Yeah, this thing's going on. I'm so excited that this thing's going on here.
It was a little
This
bit
thing's
abrupt.
here.
But
Yeah.
this thing, what they call that, a podcast?
Yeah, whatever the heck you got going
Whatever
on.
you got going on there.
Thanks, Turkey.
Podcaster.
We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Let's see. We got we got
there's an
quite
orange.
a
There's
few.
orange. I like the
Yeah,
orange.
we
Dingo
do.
knows the orange.
Bring the orange, guys. The orange and the red.
We don't see orange and red often.
Okay.
here.
I'm going to challenge someone to put a red in there for Brian. Come
Oh
on.
my
Don't be
gosh.
cheap, man.
Oh,
You
come on.
Americans got more money than sense half the
Right.
time. Give him a red. I want to see a red.
Speaking about money, this dude right here, man.
He's got the
Jason.
plasma cash, dude.
Yeah, he's getting plasma. Do you guys give plasma over there?
I don't know what you're talking
Like,
about. Oh, is
instead
this
of
the
blood.
guy who gives
Yeah,
blood?
yeah.
just like
all of it.
He's like,
We
all-
might-
every day.
We don't get paid for it, so.
Oh, they get like
That's
he
how
gets
good
like-
America is.
He gets like $1,000 a month.
He quit his job. He just donates.
Yeah.
He donates plasma all day.
Yeah, he's a professional.
I try
plasma.
to give blood, but they wouldn't take mine.
Yeah, they're like too many.
Like, yeah, there's a
black
there's green
mambas.
mamba blood venom in this blood.
There's a
too
couple
much-
of
too much
things. Yeah.
venom.
Yeah.
Well, Jason says, "What's up, Snake Fam, dude? If I knew Dingo was going to be on, I would have sent some jerky." Whoa. Well, he's actually also going to be on
actually,
next week too. That's
speaking
a coincidence.
Speaking of jerky, Biltong, come on.
Yeah. Oh,
There's no. Have you had American jerky?
No.
Don't eat it.
Yeah,
it's
no,
garbage.
pretty bad.
What-
So disappointing.
It's so disappointing, man. I mean, when you've had Biltong, it's over. You just throw the
I
jerky
wanted
away.
to bring some. I was desperate.
You should have brought
but,
some.
But the
Send
problem
it.
is you can't sit in your bag forever, and they would.
No, it goes bad.
You know, you go to TSA,
Oh, they'll take it away.
I went through yesterday just to come here.
Mm-hmm.
I felt violated. And my whole family
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Hey?
America's like the worst when it comes to getting through. I mean, I've traveled all over the world, and there's China's not exactly the best. China took away like a screwdriver I had, a little tiny screwdriver I had. I had like a couple bottles of like water and stuff. They took everything away from me when I went on a flight one time. Yeah. China was probably the worst place as far as like cracking down. Like, I mean, they would just take like half your personal items and like all my wires and stuff like that for my like iPhones and stuff. They took them all away.
You're gonna strangle someone?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're and I didn't speak Chinese or Mandarin, so yes. Oh, so you do.
You're very fluent. That was crazy.
It's amazing. You would have been able to argue with them. But anyways, we love you, China, though.
We appreciate it.
Do they have YouTube, China?
No, but they do. So they don't have Google or Facebook in China, but they do use VPNs. And so when I went to China, the first time I went was a show in Shanghai. And the promoter was like, hey, we want to fly you over here and be a guest. And I was like, absolutely. It sounds fantastic. And I'm like, but how does anyone know me? Like, there's no YouTube in China, you know? And I got there and it was like gong show. Like there's never been one time I've had more fanfare in my life than going to China. It's like when I walked into the show, and it was really weird because I roll up to the show, by the way, I mean, there's got to be 100,000 people in this place. I walk up to get in the show. As I get out of the car, like 5 guys, like security surround me. 5 security surround me to walk me in. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
Very popular.
And as I walk through the door, literally like people are like mobbing the security and they're like pushing people away. It was crazy.
That's good for self-esteem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think
he's still riding on that high.
Can I come back with
what it was is they actually thought that I was a UFC fighter.
Oh, they thought you were Shawn Michaels.
I thought I was Shawn Michaels, the WWE guy. They didn't realize I was just a snake breeder. But no, it was crazy. It was so they use VPNs and they use the like New York or Hong Kong VPN to get YouTube. So they watch it over there. So there might be some Chinese in here. We just wouldn't know.
Jake says, love to see you, Dingo. Glad you're back on the tube. How's the elbow? And Brian, we hope to book the Reptarium for our daughter's 3rd birthday in June.
That would be great, man. I hope you do, Jake. And how is the arm?
It's slow.
It's slow.
I think, so I dislocated, broke it, tore the tendons and ligaments off both sides. Had the operation. 1st of January. It's another story. This is not...
Obviously, it didn't get better when he got older, is what he's saying. He's still making silly mistakes.
So we work really hard December, January. It's our busy time. We're running like 3 or 4 venues.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work. So the one day we had off was New Year's Day at the one venue. And that's where my wife was working. So I thought, let me treat my family. My kids were working. They were all... That trip was going to try and fund our trip here now, So it was very important. Everyone had been working hard. So I thought, let me do this. We wake up in the morning. We go for a swim in the ocean. Who doesn't want to do that?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we wake up like 7, hit the ocean for a bit, and then I'm going to take them all gorge swinging. And we've got
which is crazy. By
we've got the highest gorge. Jay, have you got like something to figure it out?
Yeah.
165 meters in feet.
What's it called?
It's Orobi Gorge. Give us a picture of it, Jay. 165 meters in feet. I think it's like 500.
541 feet.
Okay. So
and then what's it called? Sorry.
Orobi Gorge swing.
How you gonna spell that?
ORRBR.
Perfect.
There we go. Not so hard.
Gorge.
I shouldn't be advertising them. Okay, now you've stuffed the spelling up. There. Go back.
I gotcha.
Overzealous. Now, okay, there's...
Is this it right here?
Yeah. So you'll see some images. Yeah, so you could drop into that hole. off like a waterfall.
Like
this guy's here.
There, that's it. That's us. Except
that's Dingo.
Looks just like you.
Yeah, I grew my hair for it.
Dingo. No, that's Dingo right
stop
there.
Stop there. That guy's dead. The guy in the red shirt.
Is he really?
They still use him for the advertising. Okay, keep that image there. So this is what happened. Can everyone see the image?
Yeah.
And by the way, I think I've been here. I think I went to that gorge.
Did you?
I think I did, yeah, because...
You don't like heights.
I don't mind heights. But I don't know if it's is that the most famous gorge there? Because I went to a famous gorge with Russell McLaughlin or whatever, camera guy. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We went like 4 hours out of our way to see a gorge that looks just like this. So I'm assuming it's the same gorge.
Could be.
Yeah.
So what happened is I take the family out there. So you've seen my kids.
Yeah.
Now Rex, my youngster, he's just turned 7 and fed.
Did he
so
do
was
that?
6. No. So now he was scared of heights a year ago, right?
So he pushed him off.
So kicked him. So what happened is
more effective.
How's this? So I forced him to do a zip line. He cried the whole way.
Yeah,
I wasn't father of the day. And then the next time we go out to this other place, right? Small zip line, 300 foot. He's like, I said to him, mate, you must, because at our park we're gonna have a zip line over crocs, right?
Yeah.
So I said, imagine that, because he's so mad about crocodiles. So I said, this is also how you get a wife. You just brainwash them. So
Facts.
I said, pretend the crocodile's underneath you.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do that. So he says, the next time we go up, Dad, I want to go on the zip line. So I'm like, flat out, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Gets up there, a couple of tears, but he gets on and he goes and he comes on. That was awesome!
Yeah.
Amazing!
That's awesome.
So then we wake up New Year's Day. So I've done this gorge thing quite a few times.
Okay.
And it's cool. I quite like heights. I like adrenaline. Lovely. My missus has done it as well. So I think here's an opportunity, the whole family, right? So I go out there. So I say, guys, here's the deal. If you say you're doing it, you do it. I will throw you off there, because then you pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for us, it's quite expensive. And it's New Year's Day. Let's start the year. Adventure is out there. Let's go. Because last year was a great one.
Yeah.
So let's this year we're gonna take on the world. We're going to America.
Right.
We're gonna change the world.
That's right.
So we get
yeah.
up there. So I show them. I dangle them over the edge. You want to do it? Yes. All three say yes.
Really?
So I'm like flat out. Then Kirsty went to the bathroom with two of them. One came back with a few tears. I said, Kirsty, that's enough now. No influencing my children. You know what I mean? Stay away. Because Kirsty will talk about, well, if something was to happen to you, she's quite...
There's a chance you may die. Yeah.
But only 1 out of 10,000 people die. And I don't even
I see
know
900.
that.
No. That's good. That's
Live
good.
for the moment. That's what I say.
That's right.
So I banned her from talking to the kids after that because we had paid. So then we go down this ladder, dodgy ladder, onto the edge of the waterfall there. So I think, okay, Kirsty's going to go first, show them that they're not going to die.
Right.
I will stay there, keep their heads in the game. Because if I go and I leave Kirsty,
then they're never going. They're never going. Yeah.
So Kirsty goes first, and Kirsty, it's about a 40 kilos, so it's 80 like an 80 odd pound rope on you.
Yeah.
So 88 pounds. So the weight just pulls you over the edge. So Kirsty goes first, gone.
Wow.
Just disappears. You can't see it. So far down, 540 foot. She comes out the other side, beautiful, lifts up, mom's alive, great. Then our oldest one goes, I think. And she was a little bit nervous. Hey, beautiful, loves it. Then the next one goes, then my little boy goes. So I'm sitting with him, boy, you can do it. I can do it, Dad. He's got a few tears. I can do it. And he goes up to the edge, and we're singing a song to each other because we always finish he's my best mate.
Yes, of course.
We finish our sentences and stuff. You can do it. So he's like, Dad, I might cry, but I'm going to do it. The guy goes off there. What a hero. And he goes down. He comes up and he's stoked. You know, he's so proud of himself.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is the greatest family in the world. I've never been more proud in my life. So I'm like, I'm going to go. And I've done somersaults off there before. I'm going to do a somersault so I can wave at them underneath.
Right.
Like upside down before I go off. So I'm like flat out. I say to the guy who's there, can I do it? Yeah, no problem. What? So I do this somersault, right? And as I go over, the rope is attached to your stomach. So as I'm upside down, arse over tits, the rope goes around my neck, under this arm, and then as I complete the thing, it's up here. So I bungeed once before, Victoria Falls. I went backwards and got the rope in between my twig and berries. But that was just one thing. So I moved that out in time, and I didn't
knock them out.
prostrate yourself. That affects your future.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Ev.
Don't do that.
It's gold you're getting today. It's gold. And then, so I do this jump, and I know I don't have time because you got like a second to pull it out in time. And because it's around the neck and the arm,
it's hard.
It's never going to happen. Yeah, because there's already tension coming. So I hold on to it with both arms. I think maybe my arms, gun show, maybe the arms can take the impact when you hit the bottom.
Right.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
So as I feel a tension, and also if you drop, like Kirsty drops straight away, you do this beautiful swing.
A pendulum,
if you dive out like an idiot, it's a great somersault. You go like, then you free fall, it's like a bungee, and then you hit, and then you only swing.
Now it's like, exactly.
So I did a dive.
Yeah, eat all the force,
My gosh, did I do a dive. So I've gone out, I've free fall, and as I hit the bottom, I just got flicked all over the place. Fortunately, it came off the neck.
That could have killed you.
100%.
They could have pulled the body up with no head, to be honest.
Yeah.
And,
seriously.
I had a rope burn all over here. And that guy that you had up earlier, the red shirt, I found out afterwards, he died 6 years before. Somersault,
same thing.
Rope around the neck.
Well, they just can't afford like another advertisement. They're just
No. Well, why would you?
I mean, his family's seen
It's a
those
perfectly
adverts.
good
It's on
picture.
all of their pamphlets. It's shocking. That guy, you see, he also did tricks. And he did a trick, also somersault. And the problem is you can't control the rope when you're doing a somersault.
Right.
So same thing happened. But long story short, it came off the neck. This arm took it. So this whole part of my arm here came forward.
Oh.
It dislocated in the elbow and I think in the shoulder. Took the top of the radius bone off. Oh. So there's some fragments cruising around. And then it tore the ligaments and the tendons on this side and this side off. Oh. When I say it was sore, sweet Lord.
Yeah, we're glad you're here, though, brother.
And you still had to work the whole rest of January, right?
Yeah, and I was stuck at the bottom of a cliff, dangling on a rope. I lifted my arm up, and it was all weird, and then it just went back in. And then I had an operation, and now I can touch my nose, which is great.
It's super important, yeah.
But that's as far as I can lift it, and the shoulders got a problem. So
you'll get there, brother.
When I get back, I think we're having shoulder up.
Really?
I didn't want to have it before here. I had a cortisone injection in the shoulder before I came.
Just to get you through it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll help too, a cortisone shot, but if it doesn't.
So what's the lesson we learned here?
Don't do a somersault.
Or do a somersault, but just understand you could break your arm or kill yourself, you know?
I'm still, Kirsty wants to say to listen to your wife because she wanted to go for coffee that day. We ended up in the emergency room.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not ready to.
Well, I think that listening to your wife is always a good idea, though. They always are the smarter ones.
But would you have done anything in your life if you listened to your wife all the time? She doesn't watch the vlogs.
And not only that, but look at your son now feels like he accomplished, overcame adversity, right?
Amen.
Even
Amen.
If you got hurt, he did something great. I'm with it.
Say it.
Yeah, but now would he do it again after his dad got
Yes, he
shredded?
would. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life.
Do it. Because I said to him, just don't do a somersault.
Right.
So I don't know.
Or will he eventually, like, say at his 18th birthday, be like, I'm going to do a somersault for my dad?
Yeah.
You know, like in like a tribute to my dad. I'm going to do a somersault.
Yeah, he could.
And not get hurt.
You think it'd be a better somersault than Dingo can do,
and
though?
not get hurt is the...
Yeah, and not get hurt. If he does a somersault right, I think he can do it. I have faith in him.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to achieve it. I'm ready. Okay.
Tegu King says, what up, fam? Hey, Dingo, what's everyone's favorite lizard? Did some Arizona herping last night and did pretty well.
Oh, God, Arizona herping. You have you ever been out to the west? Well, you went to California, right?
I went to California.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'd like to talk about the Kings of Pain. Did you see that there's season 2 coming?
No.
That's what I saw it on Rob.
We were just talking about the other day.
Avila's.
Did Robbo say it?
Yeah. They posted a thing saying, coming the end of May, it's Kings of Pain 2.
But they haven't filmed it yet.
I see. This is why I'm confused because it says literally Kings of Pain coming, like May something.
You're kidding me.
That's what it said. On his,
Rob,
did you see? Did you see him?
Told me if there was another one. We are back. Season 2, Kings of Pain premieres.
How's it premiere when they haven't filmed it yet? Right? Unless they filmed it incognito.
They're just live streaming it all.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Maybe he says, many have asked about season 2 and wanted to respond, but had to wait until today. Maybe they weren't allowed to.
Yeah. So what the hell? We'll talk more about that in a second.
Yeah.
Let's hit some choopers, and then we'll talk more.
Favorite lizards, though?
Oh yeah, favorite lizards.
Mine.
Yeah.
Well, you made me.
Oh, I know.
You made me cry today.
I know what it is.
You know, I've always wanted one, and I've always seen them on like vlogs in the States and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I came today. I never thought they were so pretty in real life. And I saw that croc monitor.
Yeah, dude.
And I couldn't hold the tears back.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just
beautiful.
Well, you're going to get a chance to see a bunch of crocs on this trip, so that, Kevin obviously has some really good ones.
Yeah.
You'll see some guys down in Florida that have some amazing ones. So you're going to be croc monitored out by the time you leave. Yeah.
They are beautiful, though, huh, Dingo?
I also like that they can hurt you.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me. And
I
maybe
agree. I like stuff that's feisty.
I like animals that if
give you a run,
stuff up, it's going to hurt you.
No, I'm the same way. I love my tame animals. Don't get me wrong. I love Elvis and all the other stuff. I love that stuff. But when you have something that challenges your talent, like you have to if you mess up, like you said, you're going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And that there's something about that
and that's perfect for Baby Kush.
Yeah,
that sounds just right.
Yeah. So there you go. Do you have a favorite lizard?
Probably an Argentine black and white tegu.
Ooh, good one.
And the albino one you have. That one.
Yeah. Oh, just wait till the one you're going to see next week.
Ooh, doggy.
Oh no.
And what about you, Brian? I mean, that's a hard one.
Komodo.
It is really tough. Yeah, I think Komodo's mine.
Fair.
Mine.
Fair.
It's just a dream animal. It was funny because yesterday Jay at Prehistoric posted I didn't know. It's like someone posted on my thing like, did you see Jay at Prehistoric got a Komodo dragon?
Oh God.
And it's a big one. And I was like, what? I was like, and we were just talking. We literally were talking about it yesterday. And I was like, holy crap! Did you really? So I go into this thing. It's an animation, like, so, but this person like literally believed that he got it. I mean, it's clearly fake. You know what I mean? And but anyway, but there's something about Komodo, and of course, our friends from Reptlandia, which is down in Texas, Ari, they just got their little baby Komodo like a couple days ago. Yeah.
So are they an AZA facility?
They're only the second non-AZA that has a Komodo in the States.
Wow. We got to get one.
So what do you need to do to apply for something like that?
So the application. So there's two are out there, right? One is up at Rob Carmichael's place in Chicago. Have you been?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, you gotta go.
You should go. It's north of Chicago. It's called Reptile Discovery. It's
super cool, dude.
Absolutely cool. And then of course now Reptlandia. Now Reptilandia is Ari worked at the Dallas-Fort Worth Zoo for 12 years. So the Dallas-Fort Worth Zoo is basically putting one on loan to him. Okay. So it's not his, but he's able to have it.
So pretty much you got to know somebody.
Yeah, you got to know somebody. And what happened with Rob Carmichael, it took him 10 years. He went to every AZA meeting, even though he wasn't AZA. I could go to an AZA meeting, just pay the $100 or whatever.
Just networked?
He went to every single one and networked to the point where eventually, I think it was like the Nashville Zoo or something like that. So what they did was they sent him a female that had been spayed.
Okay.
And it was named Shrimp. But from the time that he got it, it had medical issues, prolapsing. He had surgeries done, all kinds of different things. And she finally passed away. And then the zoo felt so bad, they sent him a male. Okay. So a baby male. So now he has a little male.
Imagine a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So in South Africa, there are only 2 Komodos. They're both at Pretoria Zoo.
Okay.
Which is an old state-run place.
Yeah. I've never been, but I heard of it. Yeah.
Like our zoos in South Africa are dismal. And there's 2 big, I think they got 2 females. Yeah, and they're big and it's beautiful, but people aren't getting to see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the people go to that zoo are. So I'm kind of toying with the thing, when we open our thing, do we go down that whole line of AZA, and it'll be PASA first in South Africa, and do we go down that whole thing and all the issues that come with it and the red? I'm not great with red tape.
I don't think you do.
No, don't do it.
I think you.
But I don't know if you have to do that to get certain species.
Yeah.
And we're so strict with what you can have in South Africa. So saltwater crocodile, there aren't any there.
Yeah.
So, and where we live, it's like Florida. You want to import something, good grief, they'll give you a strip search up the bum, everything, and then they'll say no.
Sign me up.
Even if you do risk assessments and everything else. So it limits what we can display a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I would love to have, especially my son, because he'll take it over from me, but he'd love to have every crocodilian species in the world. But to the public, do you need it?
Yeah, I mean, so many of those species are so similar. I mean, really, even to like the non-trained eye, I would say a Porosus and a Nilocus.
I agree.
Is probably going to look the same. You know what I mean? They're both gigantic crocodiles.
Very impressive.
And, I mean, again, to someone else, a salty and a Nile is completely different. But to a normal
my grandma,
person, croc people always know. But even I'm pretty into crocs. I mean, I'm very into crocs. And there's some species like I'll go like, oh, that's not a Morlet's. I'm like, I thought that was a Morlet's, and they're like, no, it's whatever, So it's the same thing, I mean, obviously I can tell the difference between a Nile and a Porosus and a Cuban and a whatever, an American crocodile, but there's some of those, like really obscure things. But I agree with you. It'd be, but I wouldn't go down that path if I were you. So, anyways, what do we got?
Our boy Ryan for Biotoxic Exotics says, just showing some love and checking in, gang. Heading to the comedy theater with my wife, and I'll definitely watch the podcast when I'm home. Glad you got to come through, Dingo. And Ryan, if you can, make it over to Gatorland. Dingo's going to be there.
Yeah, Dingo's going to be there the 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th for me.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to meet Savannah.
Oh, you'll love her.
She seems amazing.
So Savannah is like, I tell people this all the time. She's like a real life character, like a cartoon character. She's like a real life cartoon character. She's big. She's loud. She's funny. She's got such a big presence to her. Like, you know what I mean? She just like illuminates a room.
Yeah.
And
if she's in there.
Yeah. And and she will be brutally honest with you. You trust me. You know, if she thinks you say something she doesn't like, she's not going to say that.
And let me give you a little help too, Dingo.
Yeah,
Watch
help
your
me.
sandwiches around her.
Yeah,
okay.
she'll eat my sandwiches.
She'll steal them.
But she'll make you give it to her. She's not. It's not like she's stealing it. She'll be like, I don't know. I think I should just try yours too. To be honest with you, I think you should give me some part of your sandwich.
Yeah, one of our favorite stories is actually we were a guy named Joe Wazalewski, who's kind of a legend. And have you heard of Joe? He's a legend in reptiles down in South Florida. And we went to this Cuban sandwich place, and and she ordered a steak sandwich, and he ordered a Cuban, and he sits down, and she walks up and she goes, "This is the way it's going to be, Joe. I'm going to take half of your sandwich, and you can have half of my sandwich."
You kidding?
I swear on my life.
She wasn't like, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
Yeah.
She's like, "This is the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm taking half of yours.
Savannah.
and you're
I
giving
love it.
A lady working in a man's world.
That's how you got to be, right?
She's great. I love her. She's one of my favorite people. She
too.
really is. She's amazing. You'll have a great time. And it looks like Becky actually sent a
Yeah, she says I
picture.
sent a pic of the lobster. I promise it's safe.
So apparently, I don't know. It's like lobster in a jar. I don't know.
Try
I mean,
it.
what can possibly be wrong with
Let
a,
us know how
a
it
month-old
goes.
lobster in a jar?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't,
If this is the last podcast y'all hear, you know how it goes.
I don't know. I don't know.
In Ohio, Reptileverse
okay.
came back to say, I'm in Ohio. We are
Oh, okay.
required to have 200 hours of training,
Yeah.
so I'm doing my training at a friend's place. We've had a brief back and forth in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it is interesting. Ohio does have that. You know, some states have it. Like Florida has it too. You have to have X amount
1,000 hours or
1,000 hours, I think, before you can do it.
I think it's a good thing. So
I
in
think it's a good thing too. I do too.
So in South Africa, we didn't have that. That was my story. I got bitten by the green mamba. And I got bitten
Oh yeah, there's how many? You had 4 or 5 bites.
5 bites. So I had the green mamba. I had, what came next? I had a puff at a dry bite.
Okay.
How's
Lucky
that for
man,
close?
dude.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be talking to you like this.
Yeah.
It's not as sexy when you're trying to pull the ladies.
So the green mamba was dry and the puff was dry.
Puffer was dry, and I was doing a show with the puff. But you know, you learn every time. There was no one training you 25 years ago.
Right.
Sure.
So the green mamba was stupid free handling. The puff adder, I was necking it basically on top of a smooth surface like this.
Yeah.
And they're so strong. And as I went in, it slipped. Boom, one fang in. Didn't give me anything. I did it again because I was mid-show. I want to show everyone fangs. Back then, I did silly things at school shows. And I put the hook stick under the fangs, and venom sprayed out from me past you. It was fully loaded.
Oh, so the
Grace
first
God
time you
didn't
hit
bite
it,
me.
the
Yeah.
second time it juiced
And
you.
then, so fortunately, not in my finger. It just went out all over the
Yeah.
place. Then I had a black mamba bite.
And that was real?
That kicked my ass.
Oh.
10 minutes, couldn't walk, couldn't breathe.
Wow.
But then also, I was on a pair of tongs that are actually made here. And, you know, some of those tongs, you hold that handle in, and instead of going into that groove, it hits the side.
Yeah.
So it feels like
yeah.
there's tension on the snake.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the snake's just sitting loose.
Yeah.
And I was going to neck it, go up, grab by the neck, because you don't really want a black mamba cruising around. It wasn't
Right.
a particularly tame one. And suddenly it came straight down there so quickly, it bit me on the thumb. 300 people in the audience, no one saw it bite me. That's how fast the snake was.
Wow.
Those snakes, I love them. I want to talk black
Ooh.
mambas later if that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
I
yeah.
love them so much.
Yeah, they're amazing.
But so that tagged me. Then I had a dry bite from a boomslang, being stupid.
Yeah.
And then the last one was a ring cast through a bag. So everyone,
Rank
I
was
learned
right. Okay.
bags,
Yeah.
but there was no one training you. So that's why I think 1,000 hours or whatever hours, it's really good. I don't know what that looks like in reality.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, I don't want to train somebody for 1,000 hours.
Right. Yeah. It's always different. And the thing is like, okay, I'm sure the first 500 hours, someone's probably not even touching something. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
It's
it's like you're just
cleaning
doing shift
closures,
and
yeah.
shift or this, that, and then all of a sudden,
Clean
I mean,
poo.
you know, and that doesn't give you that much
No.
exposure. It's when you finally hands on. I never got training. You know what I mean? I got my first copperhead when I was 17 years old. Messed with rattlesnakes when I was a little bit older. Didn't really mess with the lapids until probably 15 years ago.
Really?
You know, I started messing with the lapids about 15 years ago. I think I touched a few cobras and stuff
Right,
like
right.
that, but I wouldn't say like handling
Yeah,
the
sure.
lapids. And then I really fell in love with the lapids. I think maybe, you know, once I started going to Australia,
Yeah.
like I started messing with you know,
Okay, yeah.
with taipans
I'll get
and,
you out there.
and brown snakes and stuff like that. And then at that point, I think it started with like really like red belly black snakes because they're pretty
Yeah,
chill.
they're cool.
And then you know like colettes, you know, which are pretty chill as well. And then eventually it was, you know, eastern brown snakes, you know, which are hyper,
chill.
you know, they're a little bit, they're like the training for coastal taipans. And then, you know, a friend of mine said this, a really great venomous handler told me, he said, black mambas and coastal taipans will make the most experienced keeper still look like an amateur. You know, because that's how
So
crazy they are.
yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there's no adrenaline like catching a coastal taipan or messing with a black mamba like we did at your place, or I've done at you know.
Well, there's that
Mike
video
Perry's
you
or
have,
something
Bri,
like that.
of I think I might have been forest filming, I think, and
Yeah.
it's like a black mamba coming at the camera, and it's the most
That was at Mike
grim
Perry's,
thing I've ever seen, dude. It was so.
I mean,
crazy.
there's and that day it was like much like the day me and you did the black mambas. I mean, it was hot.
yeah.
it's
The
always
sun
just
was
on fire.
baking, and those
And that's
animals out
winter.
there, and there's like, you know, I mean, it's like those things are on fire when it gets fired up, and you've got a 9-foot.
Yeah.
You know, you got a 9-foot spring.
Yeah, whip.
That's springing back at you at every different angle you can imagine, and wrapping you at the same time.
Wow.
You know, so it's like you can't even get away from it. You
Yeah.
know, it's like so black mambas are yeah. So
they're phenomenal.
they are.
I think
they are probably the most iconic. King cobras and the two most iconic snakes on the planet.
Yeah.
Because coastal taipans are amazing. Most people don't know what a coastal taipan is.
no,
Yeah.
and they don't get as big.
Yeah.
and they, for me, a black mamba is, I think it's the most frightening snake in the world in
I think
terms
so
of
too.
when you get a big, hot, middle of summer, 40-degree day or whatever that, 100-degree
Yeah.
Fahrenheit, you know, and it's the one snake that you can never say you're in control of.
Never.
There's times where, so over the last, let's say 4 years of working with him when I'm filming, there's been probably 3 or 4 occasions, specifically with black mambas, where afterwards, Kirsty and I have had a chat where I've said I wasn't in control there. And you know, like most of the time, you know what it's like when we're filming with things, King Cobra comes at you, or like I know, you touch a tail of King Cobra, he's going to turn, he's going to come at
Sure.
you, right? You touch a black mamba tail, he's going to go away most of the time. You touch a black mamba on the side, he's going to come at you. You touch a King Cobra behind the hood, you know, if he's hooding up looking at you and I touch my hood, he's going to move that way.
Yeah.
He's not going to come back at me
Yeah.
then, but tail sensitive. So there's those general rules.
Yeah.
And then you get into situations where suddenly things go wrong.
Yeah.
I did a thing, we rescued a black mamba out of a cabbage patch. And we run into this cabbage patch. It's pandemonium. It's on a farm. We got a call out there. The mamba, I see the mamba going through these cabbages. Cabbage is terrible, terrible vegetable, but it's going out there. And I shout back to someone who's got my hook sticks and that. And they throw the hook stick and I grab it. I look back. I can't see the mamba. Oh. And what's happened is as I'm turning back, they're so quick. And this, we're talking 100-degree day now. In this valley, 2 hours away from hospital. As I've looked back, he's gone right, and then he's gone right again, so he's coming back towards me. And I mean, it's just people screaming, and they're losing their minds, right? There's like 30 people in the field. So I look back like that. First, fortunately, Kirsty sees him and says, he's coming at you, he's coming at you. I look down, he's closer than you are to me, coming towards me. Not trying to bite me.
No,
He's
yeah.
freaking out now. There's people running.
There's so many people yelling. Yeah, of course.
And that snake, so I try to back up now. I back up, but he's here. So I'm going like this with the hook stick, right?
Right, yeah.
Trying to get him off me, off. And then I trip over a cabbage.
Oh, no.
Because for a snake, cabbage patch is fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
He's hooking,
yeah,
he's
so-
hooking,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
hooking,
it's
and he's
perfect,
winding it. And I'm tripping over the stupid things. And I trip and I stumble and my foot goes like, one foot goes over the other. Black mamba, head this far off the ground, straight in between my legs. Through the other side. I close my eyes, I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah.
And with now I'm hypersensitive. When I got bitten by a black mamba
Yeah.
first time, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Now I'm dead probably in about a minute to 2
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
from a bite from that snake. And I close my eyes, nothing. I look back, he's gone through my legs out the other side. Fortunately, he was just trying to get away.
Yeah.
But there's been other times when I've had mambas. I've been bitten once by a black. I should have been bitten probably 15 times over the
Right.
years. And not because it's reckless. It's just because
It happens.
that snake moves quicker than you can move. It is, we don't get bitten more by them because they choose not to bite us. Like a king, you're handling a big 15-foot king cobra, you within strike range.
Yeah.
But they choosing not to bite you most
Sure,
of the time.
yeah.
And I think for me, one of my best videos I've ever had and the best experiences, we came across a wild black mamba that was off its mind. I saw it. I jumped off a van to get it. We're looking for Nile monitors on the water's edge. And I saw this black mamba moving, jumped off, ran up to it. It stood this high off the ground, and for 15 minutes, mouth open, coming. And afterwards, I was so pumped because it felt like, you know, we're working with animals all the time. I've been working since I was 4 years old with animals.
Yeah.
And it felt like that for me is the pinnacle
Yeah.
in terms of, it's like a fighter pilot who's been in a dogfight and survived.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like all the learning body language of the snake. Black mamba would move like this, do that, how quick it can move, how close you can be, especially when you're with camera. So it's a good camera angle, but you're not going to get tagged. The cameraman's safe. All of that kind of came together at the right time.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I was buzzing. So for me, that snake, it's just, you have to, you fortunately, you can't ever get to a stage where you're too relaxed with them.
Oh no, there is no such thing. Like I said, it's the same thing. I don't know if you've messed with coastal taipans much.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
They're very similar. Like you said, black mambas are a little longer and wilier. Coastal taipans still can get 9 foot, but they're a little thicker and not quite as whippy, but close. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's the same type of thing. I remember we were in a place called Savages Crossing in Queensland, and that's one of the small areas that because they're very small range that they're from, and catching one of those for the show Venom Hunters. And I remember when we finally got that in the bag, and like the bag was tied. It was like I had just ran. I just ran a marathon.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally, it felt like I just ran a marathon. I mean, I was just like the whole time I'm just on adrenaline city, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, film and TV, it's not just catching it. It's all right. We got to do 5 different angles. We got to do a drone shot of it. We got to do this. You know, okay, you've got it subdued. Now let it go again. You know,
out
stuff
the
like
bag,
that.
back in.
Yeah, back in. You know, stuff like that. When we finally got the final tie, and I said, I remember just like getting on my knees, and I felt like I had nothing left. I was like, oh my gosh, that's something else. But mambas, I've not had nowhere close to your experience, but the experiences that I've had with mambas, they are special, and I agree with you. I still think they're the most dangerous snake on the planet.
It's because they can climb so fast.
Yeah,
so they, like a mamba in the wild is never fat.
Right.
It's a thin, whippy snake that can
Streamline,
climb, swim. Like that one that we released, it just took off over the water.
It's unbelievable.
And when they're angry, they're one of the few snakes that's genuinely going to come at you.
Yeah.
So if there's a mamba in this room and it's angry, it's going to try to get away. And as soon as you come into its space, it's going to
rear up
its
and come
job
at you.
is to bite you.
It's going to come up and get you.
And it's going to bite you repeatedly. And it is, you know. So I've got inland taipans. We've got black mambas. In terms of fast-acting venom, those mambas are frightening. Like inland taipan, if you were to feed it a live rat, it takes like 2 minutes to kill the rat. Bites a rat runs around like nothing's happened, then suddenly, very quickly, bones. But it's 2 minutes later. Whereas there's other snakes that I've found, that's why that LD50, whatever, I don't think it's 100% accurate when it comes to human beings, because there's other animals, rattlesnakes for me, some rattlesnakes will drop a rat in 10, 15 seconds, really, really quickly. And a mamba seems to drop them really quick. It's like a fast-acting venom. Yeah. So when I got tagged by my mamba, I was expecting symptoms to come in 10 minutes. Right. 5 seconds, pins and needles all over here.
Really? Is it a neurotoxin? I don't know.
100%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cardiotoxin too.
It kicks your ass. Yeah. And they got dendrotoxins. I don't know what that is. It just sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It sounded really good. Yeah,
dendro.
Dendrotoxins.
They make genes out of that.
So the onset of the symptoms were immediate. It was a decent size, probably a 9-foot snake. Hit me on the finger. It was angry. So I think it gave me a good dose of venom. Yeah. But pins and needles immediately. Within a minute and a half, my hands had gone like this.
Wow.
And I had pins and needles going up my hands, coming up my legs from my toes. And then by the time I got to the hospital, which was 10 minutes after the bite, couldn't walk. I fell out the car. Oh. And then they ventilated me 2 minutes later.
So you've been bit 5 times, you said?
Yeah. All between the age of 21 and 23.
Okay. So I always say, and we'll get to a couple super chats here in a second.
Yeah, you're good.
I've messed with venomous. So I don't work with venomous snakes on a daily basis, which could be good or bad, right? Because I mean, it's like you're working with them, you're getting to know the mannerisms more than I am.
Yeah, you can get out of practice.
But I work with venomous a lot. I've worked with a lot of venomous over the years, and I've always wondered what the feeling is the second you get bit.
Oh, I know.
I'm not talking about the pain. I'm not talking, and I'll get you another water, by the way. I'm not talking about the pain. I'm not talking about I'm thinking mentally. It's dry bite. You get bit. What's that mental feeling? Tell me what that feels like.
It's changed. So back in the day, it was a bit more like, crap.
Yeah.
Now I'm disappointed.
Yeah. That's kind of the way I feel. You know what I mean? I feel like I want to be the guy that never gets bit.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? I want to be the guy that be like, hey, listen, for 40 years I've been dealing with venomous snakes and I have never been bit.
Yeah.
Now, obviously if I was dealing with snakes, oh, cool. Thanks. Thanks, Jay.
You,
Thanks, man.
Have you got a bucket for the pee?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't do the catheter. Usually we do that for our guests. So I don't know if you know this, but I've had this reoccurring dream for like 20 years. White cobra gets me. And it's weird that I seem to have this thing where I mess with white cobras as often as I can, which is really weird.
It's a white cobra. I'm coming.
Yeah, it's white cobra. I'm on it. Tomorrow we'll meet. We'll have Jasmine, the white cobra, here.
Oh, cool.
She's pretty well behaved though. I mean, she's a
she can act up every now and then, but most of the time
every now and then she'll act like a cobra, but
mostly a Texas
most
rat.
of the time she acts like a rat snake, and she doesn't even hood up and stuff like that. So that's why it's kind of hard to film with her. To be honest with you, is that
there's no show.
Yeah, there's no show. If a cobra isn't up, there's no sense in
then
filming.
It's just dangerous.
There's
really.
no sense. Yeah, then it's just dangerous and it's not even fun to film with. I mean, she's still a beautiful snake, but
you need that hood.
Yeah, you need the hood. You need the hood.
Hood and the.
Yeah, you need.
Oh my God,
yeah.
I love that sound, especially the Kings where they do that growl. Oh,
yeah. I think that Bruce is going to bring a spectacle that usually hood pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's usually pretty good. He's obviously I told him not to bring a spitter because there's just no sense in doing that.
If you want to film me going to anaphylactic reaction,
I mean the vlog. I mean, it'd be a great thumbnail.
It'll get demonetized, but it'll go viral.
How I Killed Dingo. That'll be the title. And it's just like his face puffed up. And,
like a bumblebee.
Amazing.
This is the best video ever.
Have you ever heard a black mamba's hiss?
No.
I don't think I have.
It'll make your balls shrink to the size of raisins. They go, it's like a...
Oh, yeah. No, I have heard that.
It's just, and it's like a witch's in there.
Yeah.
I think that...
I love it.
Dark.
Like I said, when I spent the day with Mike Perry, that was interesting because, like I said, he put me through the ringer with those mambas. And we milked them. We did all kinds of stuff like that. And like I said, unfortunately, just a few weeks later, Ryan died at the same place that we were at. But it was. I mean, they're different snakes, man. And like I said, so fast. So I mean, as soon as he'd have this big gallon, 55-gallon drum, he'd take that top off, and the thing would just go. It's just like boom, just out on the ground, and then you're just fighting for your life at that point. You know what I mean? Trying to keep the snake. You're trying to keep the snake to where it's not getting away, but every time you touch it, you got to let it go because if you don't let it go, it's going to bite you.
I think that's what a lot of people don't realize with mambas. It's not like a snake that you can just go grab by the tail and
you can't. No.
Because as soon as you touch that tail, it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
So you have to wear it out. Those first 5 minutes, you're trying to survive. You're trying to keep it from going into the bush.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep it. As soon as you touch it, it's going to try and bite you.
You got to let it go.
So, and your hook work has to be. So I love hook work mambas. When the mamba's moving, you're hooking. And a lot of people, the snake's obviously moving like this, and they're trying to hook like that, and you miss it. The easiest way, you hit the hook. You hook the put. All right.
You hook
the put right there in the. Come on.
Did you get that, Evan?
You
got it?
You hook the put.
If you don't hook the put, I swear, dude.
You put the hook flat on the ground and let the mamba go over, and as he starts going over, you can lift up.
Almost like that's awesome. Rake.
When he's going, it's the only way to do it, and then you can slowly start getting hand by the tail, but he needs to burn off some stuff first.
And that's how Mike taught me on that thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. He said, you've got to wear them out before you try to touch them.
100%.
Because if you try to just touch this animal, it will bite you.
Twist.
100% will bite you.
We're not fast enough.
Yeah, and
it's
that was interesting because I hadn't, that was the first time that I had that experience with them. Because like when we mess with yours are at least a little bit like they're used to being handled a little bit more. Yeah. Forrest scared the shit out of me, because Forrest scared me a lot when we were at your place. Remember he was like. Well, I shouldn't even. He's dead. I can't say anything about him. I mean, he was literally like free handling your Bushmasters, and they were like an inch away from his leg.
And those were not tame Bushmasters.
No,
I've got a video of that Bushmaster coming this close away from somebody's face. He was feeding it on tongs. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, Bushmasters have got a strike. A
strike. They come off like a spring.
Yeah, and he literally was handling that thing and it was crawling within inches of his body, and he was still free handling. And then when we had the mamba out in your front yard, and it got in the little tree, and we were doing some stuff which was really cool with it. And then Forrest said, "Can I put it away?" I shook.
You're like, no.
Yeah, I shook like, oh my God, Forrest is like, because he didn't have a lot of experience with Venomous, very little experience with Venomous, but didn't seem to have any like fear of getting bitten.
Well, I didn't know that, so I'm like, you're sure.
Yeah.
American guy who wants to put the black mamba away. He obviously knows what he's doing.
I'm sure he never had touched a black mamba in his life at that point. That was his first black mamba, and he had very little Venomous, if any. I don't even know if he had any experience, but he would scare the shit out of me, man. He was like, but he just didn't care, He was just like,
amazing.
Yeah, and maybe his like courage is what kept him alive through those experiences. But let's hit a couple supers before.
While you do that,
out.
can I go to the toilet quickly?
Yeah, go for it, man.
$10.
Yep, and if there's something for Dingo, we'll
you got it.
type them.
Future Reptarian employee said, "So good to see you, Dingo, on the podcast. We've been open for this for a while." Brian J, I'm sorry I've been MIA. Glad to see you guys are all doing good. Stoked about the legends in this room right now.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It means you, Ev. Big Ev.
Evans, the legend, man.
And Lucas said, "Glad I caught you live again. Much love, guys."
Thanks, Lucas.
I'm trying to see. Is it Arvamonton? I don't know. Arva said, "I'm glad Dingo finally made it. This is hilarious."
Yeah, it's so good to hear stories from Dingo. It's
oh my gosh,
it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, and we've got more stories. I've got a couple things I want to ask him when he gets back. That'll be pretty interesting to say the least.
Alexis says, "Hey Brian, apologies for interrupting the topic. You have a self-care package that's been waiting at the PO box. Wanted to let you know just in case. Much love from the Marquis family."
Thank you so much. I will actually go to check that out this week because I haven't been to the PO. We haven't been to the PO box in
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We've just been so big. Laura used to always go to the PO box, right? But now she's gone during the week.
So now it's on us.
Like, and I don't even know exactly what the number is.
What's a PO box?
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, if I went into the PO, the post office, I wouldn't know where my box is.
No,
I'm
course
not even sure. So I'm going to have to like get Laura to write the number down and tell me. I don't even have a key. I think she's the only one that got a key. So I will get there to this week. So thank you so much. I appreciate you,
Laura, coming back, dropping some love. We appreciate you, Laura.
Yeah, I mean, Dingo talked really highly of you, Laura. So I appreciate you supporting my boy and his endeavor. It's really important.
Lucius says, "Can we get the past 6 on Apple Podcasts?"
Yeah.
Sorry to be a pest and just miss hearing you guys. We'll get on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Was Noah uploading that? Is that what was?
That's
going
who
on?
that was normally was going on. But I can talk. We'll talk to Noah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Let's just figure out how to get them back on the. I think we just have
can't
to
take that crazy. So
I think you just upload to like stream something and then stream. I don't even know what it is. We have a service that does it.
But we can get on it for you.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
Tiffany says, "Oh my God, I need to get home. I think my 4 Danger Noodle shirts finally showed up, and that will make 22 shirts and 4 hoodies. Still missing my No Eye merch. Yo, that's sick, Tiff. Awesome.
Yeah, she's the reptile army queen.
Yeah, she's the lieutenant.
Snake Invaders. That's
a good one.
Yeah, Snake Invaders. I like that. It's one of so the Danger Noodle line. Now we just have a new Danger Noodle line that's really doing well. The initial Danger Noodle shirt that I'm wearing today is the number 1 by far seller. But then Space Invaders was the number 2 seller of all time.
That's my favorite.
So yeah, it's
so good.
And then now the new Danger Noodle stuff is doing really well. So
wait till
we got
next
some
one too.
and we got a couple animated things that came from our people too. So
you'll start seeing some animation stuff pop into the videos.
Okay, let's not talk about
months.
Dingo. He just walked
Oh,
in the room.
goddamn. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
But so how about them Yankees, huh? You know? Yeah. Great out there.
Oh, yeah. No, Dingo is a great guy.
Yeah, real great.
You didn't see what I did to your toilet.
Joke's on you, mister. Joke's on you, Barczyk.
You're going to need a mop.
Need a mop.
Mike. Let's,
Mike.
Slack Family Adventure says, "Hey everyone, we had a visual lock on our first pairing, and we just found out we're expecting baby number 2. Congratulations!"
Holy moly, Slack Family! You're
busy.
You're gonna have to get some plural in there, like Slack's family.
yeah, Slack families.
Amanda she deleted her stuff, man.
Yeah, let me see. I don't see it here. If I see it, I will read it again later.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yep.
Lindsay,
my girl.
Should we just skip her comment, dude? I think.
Yeah.
It starts with Dingo. It looks like a good one.
Tomorrow, are you coming in? You're coming in the morning tomorrow.
If you'll have me back,
I would love that. So Lindsay will read her comment, but her son Maddox is in town.
Oh no way.
I did a tour with him yesterday, and he really wants to meet you.
Cool.
So I think we're gonna have him tomorrow morning.
Sweet.
Meet you and just say hey to you. So
how old's Maddox?
35.
He's probably I'd say 12 to 14.
Oh, cool.
I think something like that. Lindsay, I'm sorry, I don't know Maddox's age, but he's right in that range, 13, 14, something like that. But he's a good kid.
It's really cool meeting people.
Yeah,
It's one of the
And they're
favorite
super-
things
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I think, like one of the biggest privileges of what we do
Yeah.
is often you go to a restaurant, you get somebody
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
up,
yeah,
a little
yeah.
kid, and they're all, like, it's going to sound stupid.
Oh, geeked
but
out. I
they're
know.
all like scared or nervous,
Yeah.
and it's just,
Mister.
I think it's one of the biggest privileges we get just to say, "Hi, you buddy.
Yeah, yeah,
How's
yeah.
it going? You're
Yeah.
a legend.
Yeah.
What a good oak."
So I'm not supposed to slap him.
Yeah, he's been
If
telling
I
me
don't
to
pay
slap
you
him
to
now.
for the
Yeah,
photo.
I'm like, get away.
He gives me an extra
You see
couple
the-
ducats
did
if
you
I
see
get
the
him
Mike
out of there.
Tyson on the airplane thing?
No?
You didn't see the Mike Tyson
No.
thing on the
Mike
airplane?
Tyson.
I've been watching Will Smith slap people.
Yeah, no.
What's
it's-
going
There's
on here?
another one.
This happened where you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it.
What is going on? Do you even,
All right, so
you
Mike
even on the internet?
So he's in Mike Tyson's on an airplane, like first class, and the guy behind him is like heckling him and heckling him and heckling him and heckling him. Finally, Mike Tyson just turns around and starts, just rabbit punching him. Boom, 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 boom. And then they show the next picture. The guy's like bloodied up. The whole shot. This happened like 2 days ago.
Yeah, Mike
So
Tyson.
That's what I do when I meet people.
Oh, fair enough. But you're a bigger name than Mike Tyson, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. All
But
right,
why
right.
would you do that to Mike Tyson?
I think it was because he wanted him to do
To
what he
punch him,
did
yeah.
so
He
that he
baited
could
him.
sue him or something like that or make him look bad.
Stupid.
But I mean, I don't know if he'll end up suing him, which if he does, I hope he loses. But
Yeah.
the guy looks like a complete ass. You know what I mean? He did not make Mike look bad. He made himself look bad.
100%.
And now all the memes are going around like, you know.
Oh, I didn't
about,
even
you know,
see memes yet.
Oh
That's
yeah,
great.
the one meme is great where it's like, it says something like, like Stewart or flight attendants can stop you every 2 seconds for pulling your mask up, but they can't stop a heckler for 15 minutes. You know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean?
good.
And
That's
it's,
good.
Yeah. So, anyways, but anyways, what
Lindsay
you
did say, "Hi, Dingo. What advice would you give me as someone striving to have a successful reptile educational business in an area where the reptile hobby is not popular? Advice on single-handedly dealing with large crowds at events."
There you go, Dingo.
For me, you got to figure out who your target audience is. So I started YouTube a bit accidentally, I mean, when we met that first time, I reached 1,000 subscribers on that
Yeah,
day.
bing, bing,
Hey,
bing. Yeah.
hey, I was a big roller.
Yeah, yeah,
And still am. I got like 20,000 now.
Yeah. But you had 400. Theoretically, you have 430,000. Yeah, but
I decided really early on that, and we were talking about it today, my target audience are people who are unreached for reptiles, not
Yeah.
reptile people.
yeah,
Because reptile people are a bit weird. And
I agree.
maybe make up 0.5% of the world's population.
if that.
But
yeah.
you've got 99% of the world's population who are hitting snakes, and the only good snake is a dead snake. And
Yep.
that's the people we want to reach. So I think it's better if you're in an area that reptiles aren't big,
Yeah.
because you have an audience there
Giant market.
that you want to reach.
Yeah.
So I think it's how you don't aim it at the reptile people, aim it at the unconverted.
Yeah.
Aim it at people who what is important to them. So giving their kids things to do, that's important to them. Giving them good family entertainment, giving them positivity, giving them passion, giving things like that. I want people to spend time with me and with an animal or something like that, or watch a video or something like that, and come out thinking, I'm more excited about that animal now.
Yeah.
Or I got to hold Kush today. Look, I haven't even washed where he cut me with his claw.
Right, yeah.
I've
That's
got
awesome,
blood
dude.
from Kush.
Yeah,
And I see my kid look at an owl monitor. We've got millions of owl monitors back in South Africa, and he's got a tear running down his eye, and it's because that comes from home,
Yeah.
And that's our animal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you need to do with all the things we're doing. We're trying to reach people who don't like these animals, who don't understand these animals, who are going to run over them in their vehicles, are going to hit them or shoot them or do something. Aim it at that. Don't aim it at reptile people.
Yeah.
The smaller the reptile community around you, the better for you, because it's
Untapped market.
Well, yeah,
man.
smash it.
yeah, and she's doing really well because there's not people to do it. She's getting bombarded with people.
Business, yeah.
Yeah, like people are going,
Yeah,
we
it's-
want an
it's gonna be like
educational
the-
show.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the mom. I want to go see this. Let me go see this.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. Whereas, like, with us, we're pretty untapped here.
Florida, say.
But yeah, like Florida has 8,000 reptile educators. And it's really hard to get gigs.
We've shot like 75 videos in the last 2 years in Florida, and we haven't been to half the places.
Still, there's places we
Really,
haven't been to.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere you go, there's a new. Like I haven't even heard. Someone will say something like, "Have you heard of that?" I'm like, "No, I've never heard." And then we go, and it's like amazing. It's like this crazy cool place.
Dingo.
I'm like, how did I not even know this
so
existed?
giving him 20 days or 15 days maybe wasn't enough.
Yeah,
it'll never be enough.
You're gonna see a lot of stuff.
And we're talking Dingo. We would do like 15 days and do 3-4 places a day.
A day. Every day
Really?
we do 3 or 4 places. Yeah, so it was crazy. Yeah.
Amanda says, "Hey guys,
that's
good to see Dingo back on the scene again. By the way, Will Nace made a video about the FWC earlier. How are y'all feeling about the battalion and battle in Florida? Sorry,
Battle in, bud.
battle in.
It's your subscribers. They can't done a space there.
I told you the grammar now.
Yeah, I mean, I do know much about this Dingo. Have you heard about it, Evan?
I've heard you guys talking about it.
Yeah, so
I don't know how
it's getting pretty bad down there. You know, I mean, obviously tegus and iguanas are done.
Yeah.
But now they're talking about now this process could take some time. You know, it's doubtful that they're going to pass some legislation in the next 6 months or 8 months. It might be a year or 2, maybe even 3 years. But it's a tough thing because we haven't had success winning in Florida, right? Yeah. Like USARK has had a lot of success on the federal level. USARK has even had a lot of success on the state level, but they have not had a lot of success in Florida, right? And so the FWC in Florida is proposing right now to say if there's a reptile, and I think all animal, not even just reptiles, I think it might be all animals, if it can live outside in Florida, in the wild, you can't have it. Nobody can have it if it can live outside. And my question to you is, and you too, is what reptile can you think of that can't live outside in Florida? Yeah, I mean, there's not many.
Yeah, 1 or 2 maybe.
Desert species, maybe.
Yeah, maybe desert species, but they might be okay. It depends how deserty, right? Yeah. I mean, like a lot of arid species could still live in much parts of Florida, not maybe in the Everglades, but they can live in central and northern Florida for sure.
Only things I would think would be something like cloud forest or something.
Like some really cool. Bronia probably wouldn't live in Florida. And then that's my next question is, do you think the FWC is going to care about a Bronia? No. Are they going to put that on a safe list? They're not going to even know what an Abronia is probably.
What is an Abronia,
yeah, so the species that probably can't live, I mean, I'd just love to see what this safe list, because that's the thing, they're proposing a safe list, which would be the animals that can't live in Florida, you could still keep. I'd love to see that list because I don't know, there'd be 5 things on that list. Yeah. And maybe the 5 things that are on that list are 5 things that FWC probably has never heard of before. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a very grim situation down there. I think I don't know what's going to happen. It's extremely concerning to me, and I will fight for every ounce of my energy to help Florida, because I do believe in America that if Florida falls, the entire country falls.
Yeah, really?
I think Florida is the heartbeat of all reptiles in this state, in this country, and if that falls, I mean, all importation comes into Florida. I mean, not all, but 99% of importation comes in. The biggest breeders of everything from tortoises to rhino iguanas to the guy that supplies Petco, our biggest brand store, the guy that supplies PetSmart is down there. I mean, they're all gone. Goodbye. Yeah. Completely gone. And it would be pretty horrendous.
So we obviously hear about it from you guys and that. In KwaZulu-Natal, where I live, similar kind of climate to Florida to a degree. Florida has done us some damage in terms of everyone takes their lead off Florida. So Burmese pythons live in Florida. Yeah. So now they're invasive in South Africa. Yeah. So where we live in South Africa, it's like that. But it's different to the US, where you guys seem to, you go through, you send your letters off, your emails off to whoever, governors or whoever goes in.
Yeah, of course.
And we don't have that kind of process.
Right.
So laws get put in, but from really uneducated, stupid people.
Sure.
So like a gaboon viper is invasive in our province. And I'm talking West African gaboon vipers.
Yeah, because East Africans are down south, right? Like in St. Lucia.
Yeah, they're up north in St. Lucia.
Yeah, okay, north.
So if you take a West African gaboon viper and you release it, it's hard enough to keep them alive in enclosures half the time.
Yeah, let alone
out in the wild. Rhino viper, another one, the nest corners.
Really?
I mean, good grief. Those things are tricky.
Yeah.
And you release it anywhere there, it's going to die, 100%. Yeah. It's going to die in 2 weeks. Yeah. And we live in a good climate, but it's not the same as Uganda or Togo or wherever.
Yeah.
So what they've done is all of those are invasive now. Green iguana, invasive. We've never had any population of reptiles in South Africa that have ever become invasive, ever.
So
never.
Yeah, they're just taking the
Florida.
lead of Florida.
Boom. So that's a bit frustrating. At the same time,
it is, yeah.
And we don't have a lot of reptile keepers, so it's not like there's somebody breeding 20,000 or 2,000 Burmese pythons. So there's a hurricane. We don't have hurricanes.
Yeah.
So it's the odd person who lets their pet go or a pet escapes. So the chance of us ever getting to a stage is not
to where
fish.
two are going to get together are almost impossible.
And we got predators. My gosh.
Well, that's the other thing.
Way more than us. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Florida is like the perfect storm, right? Because it's like the climate is perfect for it, and really,
lots of food.
Apex predators. There's not many, right? Yeah. Like a Burmese python obviously can get picked off not only by an alligator, but lots of birds can pick off baby bird. Yeah. But once a berm gets 5 foot,
pretty much nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Pretty much alligators are it. You know, if an alligator doesn't get it, it's living till it's 20 foot. You know what I mean?
The alligators aren't running after the Burmese pythons. They're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not their natural food source either, so they're not going to even think of looking at it. It's just opportunistic.
They will, but it's rare. I mean, they will do it.
It'd be like opportunistic.
But yeah, in Africa, you guys have so many predators.
Oh my God!
I mean, even I remember when my buddy Pete Birch from Australia came with me to South Africa once. He said that he goes everything in Australia wants to kill us. But everything in Africa will kill us and eat us. That's the difference.
That's right.
And so that I don't see the invasive, but it is a really big problem in Florida. Is it's scary. I think of a guy even like Kyle, Crocodile Kyle, that you're going to go visit, thinking he put $10 million in, and he's not even done. He might have $15 million. Think about it. Other than alligators, because they're not going to have native species won't be on the list because they're native. They're not going to put you can't keep an alligator because alligators are not invasive. They're native. But outside of alligators, all those other crocodiles he has, they're not going to be able to be on that list.
That's a lot of money on a bunch of alligators.
You think a Nile crocodile is going to be on the list, the safe list in Florida?
No ways.
Fuck no, it isn't. Excuse the French, but I mean it's it's true. So I mean I think those guys. I think the only way out of this is lawsuit, but we have to sue them before.
It happens.
We can't wait, because what happens is if they pass that whatever legislation, however it's going to be passed, it's going to take 2 to 5 years to sue them to get it reversed. Yeah. By that time, everyone's gone. It's done.
So now, why aren't they saying they want to change the law? Here's the list they want on. How can they add the list later on? Surely that list is important.
Yeah, that's the way. Listen, the American Competes Act, which is the federal act that we're really
going on?
Well, it is still going on. It's stalled in the Senate, but there's a chance it can go to a joint council right now, which is not the greatest thing for us either, especially because usually, if you have a democratically led Congress or House, but then a Senate that is Republican led, usually the bill won't get passed. Right. The problem with this bill is that one of the prominent Republican senators, Marco Rubio, is a Republican.
Yeah.
So now you have a Republican-led Senate that one of the prominent Republicans wants this bill passed.
Yeah.
So we have a really tough time. We don't know where it's going to go. But with the American Competes Act, there was going to be a white list of animals that could be on it. And at any time that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service could take animals off the white list without any
due process
at all. Just go Burmese were on this list. Now they're not on this list anymore. Overnight, so tomorrow, illegal.
So they can just change it.
They could just change it without any due process at all.
It's not even reptiles. It's
all animals. Yeah, all animals except for domestic. Domestic
animals and then farm.
I only care about reptiles. That's fine.
But in that way, with the American Competes Act, the good news is it was all animals, because then you got the bird industry, the fish industry, everyone fighting this act, and we had tens of thousands of people bombarding their representatives. Whereas if it was just reptiles, maybe we would have not had that type of response. So who knows what's going to happen. But Florida's in tough shape, and I feel bad for my friends down there. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's a real scary thing.
Yeah.
I mean, think of even like Kenan, he has tortoises.
Yeah.
I mean, he has other animals now. He's got, now he's got, caiman and a bunch of different lizards and stuff, but he's mainly a tortoise guy. And, those tortoises aren't going to be on the list. I mean,
honestly, what's going to happen to the tortoise?
Yeah.
You're going to break out and go and mate in the bush and then
20 feet away.
You're going to eat all the cabbage.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense, but it's not about making sense. It's about,
legislation in general.
About just, the FWC trying to outlaw everything in reptiles for some reason. And I don't know why they're trying to do it, I mean, they're doing it on the guise of hey, we're trying to it's like, this is the thing, right? What they're doing now is saying I think Dingo's going to commit a crime tomorrow, so we're going to put him into jail today. So that he doesn't commit the crime tomorrow. Yeah. That's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do with my kids too, for timeout.
Yeah, timeout.
Just going to stay in there forever.
What I've said to our version of the Fish and Wildlife back in KwaZulu-Natal is there needs to be collaboration between stakeholders like us and the authorities.
Sure.
And regulate things better.
Yeah.
Don't ban stuff.
Yeah.
Because we got no rules in terms of how we keep stuff, right?
Sure.
There's no double doors. There's no outside this or
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
Or you stick it in a box with a mat on the top. You know what I'm saying?
Or duct tape.
100%. Yeah, duct tape's very good. We got good duct tape. So regulate that stuff.
Yeah.
Put in there so a 15-year-old kid can't go and buy a black mamba and stick it in a box.
Right.
And I'm saying it, maybe I'm a hypocrite saying it, but I wish 25 years ago I wouldn't have been bitten 5 times.
Yeah.
If there were those processes. So my son, he's mad about these animals. There's no ways I'm going to allow him to do what I did when I was young and dumb because I can bring him up and do things the right way.
Learn from my mistakes.
Get the enclosure first and pay the money for the enclosure, make sure that's right before the animal arrives. Not just, I've got a little bit of money, let's go buy 5 snakes and now where are we going to put them? Good luck.
Yeah.
And I think there's better ways to do it without throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah. No, I agree. I couldn't agree more. But unfortunately, the powers that be they don't reason.
There's no reactors,
reason.
you know?
It's crazy. But what do we got?
Speaking of bronias,
look at that.
Evian says bronias. You know anyone that breeds them and sells them?
Yeah, there's a few people. I mean, I would look at Rep Tech, which is Cold Blooded Cafe. Our friends Steve and Cush and Dez, they've got a bunch of Abronia.
Some cool ones too, man.
They've probably got one of the best collections. I don't know. I think they've gotten rid of a few, but they have amazing stuff. I would start there, and they can help you out. Jasmine.
I don't see anything from Jasmine.
Yeah, the yellow one's Jasmine.
Oh, okay. She did another one. Okay, my bad. Jasmine says, please say hi to my 9-year-old Amira, and she's currently watching and is a huge fan.
Hey, Amira, how are you? And I apologize. I dropped a dirty word a few minutes ago, Amira. Don't listen to me.
Sorry, Amira.
Sorry
but we love you.
We appreciate you, Amira, seriously. And it was Dingo that brought it out.
Yeah, he said it.
Dingo. It was Dingo's fault. Let's talk for a minute about Kings of Pain. Can we talk about Kings of Pain?
Yeah, smash it.
Okay. All right, good. So, first off, they hounded me to be on the show initially, and I was not interested getting hurt and bitten up. But they brought you out as an audition, and you actually were supposed to be, was it Rob or Adam that was your counterpart? Rob. So it was you and Rob were going to be the Kings of Pain people. And then you were in Bolivia?
Yeah, so we're breaking up into 4 different shoots, and the whole process, it was we'll talk more about TV stuff hopefully afterwards, but it was very enlightening on how that whole thing works, you know.
Sure.
And so came out here, did a chemistry test, didn't know what that was, but we just walked in the bush and spoke, and apparently it was good chemistry, and so I flew home. My wife was worried why I had good chemistry with a man in America, but chemistry was off the charts.
Rob's a good-looking guy.
And he does a beautiful pouch.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And all his photos, I've always ripped him off about it. So no, Robbo's a good guy. And then, and you know what it's like with the shows. Yeah, we're gonna go film in whenever.
Yeah.
And then no, we're not going yet. And then, am I leaving next week? Am I not leaving? What's happening? Yeah. So we went out there February. It's wet season over there, and we got out there, did the filming, and I was really enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Amazon in summer, beautiful.
Yeah,
it was magnificent. Pink river dolphins, all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
And we did all the setup stuff, and the first episode that we were going to film was bullet ants.
Oh.
So we had caught the bullet ants. We just filmed that scene. We got the bullet ants. We're having like a tea break. They were setting up the cameras for the, let's take a bullet ant sting, you know. So I knew I was hypersensitive to venom, but it had always been a leopard venom. So if I get, if I get poo on me from a black mamba or whatever, I'm itching. I've got welts all over, sneezing and everything else. So I knew that, but that was all we knew about. And they had a really good team. I'm going to go see Jason. He's the medic who saved me. And he's from Miami. What do they call it there? Venom 1 and Venom 2.
Venom 1, yeah, Venom 1,
so Ben Abbo's Venom 1, the doctor, and then Jace was a paramedic who was with us. Those two guys were working with us. And I'd had a big chat with Jace the day before because, you know, you say to somebody, listen, I'm hypersensitive to venom. Yeah, cool. I said, whoa, I'm hypersensitive to venom, mate. If a spitting cobra gets me in the face, I'm probably going to die. Yeah. It's not like I get a bit itchy. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And it's got more acute over the years, you know. And so we have a chat, and I said to him, if I go down, you plug me with adrenaline. Don't stick it in my shoulder. Don't stick it in my ass. And you give me double the dose you should be giving. So he actually phoned Ben. Ben said, just give him what he wants. Cool. If something goes down. So we're thinking coral snakes, you know?
Right, yeah.
And there's so many snakes down there, and they all look the same to a South African who's never been in South America before. So
Right.
we're having our tea break, and I'm walking across to the little whatever hut where we're getting our tea. And in the water, I'm on a plank there. In the water, there's this ugly little snake. It's got brown dots on it. And Rob is like fanatical about South American snakes. He's gone to Costa Rica a whole bunch of times, and he's got books of pictures of everything. And so I said, hey, Robbo, there's a snake there. And he's like, it's a leopard water snake. Non-venomous. Cool. So he jumps in the water and he grabs the snake, starts biting him, everything fine. So we had a biologist on set. So fortunately, big production, we had all the right people there. So I say to the biologist, safe, 100%, no venom, no, safe. So I grab it, and it bites me in this part of my hand over here in the muscle there. And it wasn't sore because it was in the muscle, it's not on the end of your finger, so it's fine. And you know what it's like on these productions? You can't share anything that's actually going on.
Right, yeah.
So this was one snake I could send to my family on Messenger or whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't part of the show. So we're like, we're going to take photos now, So it's a tea break, so we start cracking photos. It's in here, so I just left it in. And its mouth is like 180 degrees. I don't know what it was thinking. It was like a basking shark. And it's on me probably for about a minute and a half and taking some photos. And then one of the camera, like the director of photography says to me, I just want to focus my camera. So I'm finished the snake. So I take it over, stick it in front of him. Rob's had no reaction at all. He got bitten 5 minutes before then. Yeah. He's fine. So as I'm walking over towards her to the snake, I feel like something goes weird, And then back in my head, because I've had anaphylaxis before from my wrinkles bite. But that was 2003, 2005, a long time ago. And this was 2018 in Bolivia. And I'm suddenly like, can't be, please no.
Right.
And I went down like a ton of bricks. Don't know where the snake went. I sat down on the floor, and fortunately the closest person to me was Jason, who was the medic. Yeah. And his cabin was the closest to me. I went down 10 feet from his cabin. So I said to him, Jace, get your adrenaline. I'm going to anaphylaxis now. And fortunately, I know what it feels like. Yeah. So blood pressure drops. I sit back against a log. I'm feeling poked, but it's instant. It's not like I'm feeling a little bit dizzy. I'm stuffed. Battling to breathe. Tongue's starting to get thick. So Jace comes, gets an adrenaline, shoves it in the shoulder, felt nothing. And adrenaline's fairly strong, Right. It should give you a bit of kick in the balls. So he sticks it in my shoulder, nothing. So I'm going now. I can feel myself going. This is probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes afterwards.
Wow.
So now, clearly there is some venom in the snake. It's been chewing on me for about 2 minutes before that. It's got through, and now I'm having the reaction, And it must be a tiny bit. So a scientific paper from Australia says that some varsity did some university did something on there. No medical significance at all. Basically non-venomous. But it has to have some... It's a protein, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably killing frogs, or it's doing whatever.
Yeah.
And whatever that protein is also found in mamba and your leopard venom and everything else, right? So I go into full-blown anaphylaxis really, really fast. I ended up... So I feel myself going. I said, give it to me in my vein. He gives me one in my vein. But now we're putting half an amp, 0.5 of... So in an EpiPen, if I give you an EpiPen, I'm giving you 0.3 of a mil, right?
Yeah.
Of an ampule. So I'll give you 0.3. That thing's going to kick your ass up and down the room. Yeah. I'm getting 0.5 to 0.6 at a time and not diluted in your muscle into the vein.
Right.
So it hits you and your whole body goes...
Yeah.
But then you're back. So now I'm joking because in stressful times like that, I'm pretty decent. Like I'm telling the medic what to do, which is probably not that helpful.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that was a close one.
Yeah.
Whew.
Bring some light to it.
Now I think I've had adrenaline. Generally, I should have 10 minutes before I start crashing again because adrenaline's really strong. Minutes and a half later, I start crashing. Oh. So like now I'm in crap.
Right.
This is when I started thinking, and we are in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. We've flown into the capital of Bolivia. We've taken a chartered plane into the forest. Yeah. Into the jungle. We've driven 4 hours on Land Cruiser from there, further in the jungle. And then we've got in a dugout canoe and with the outboard gone an hour down the river. And that's where I'm bidden. So I'm quite a logical person. So I'm sitting here now.
Like you're not
doing the
making
math.
it back. You're not making it back.
There's no ways. There's no ways. There's no hospital there. I brought my own adrenaline too, which is good because we ran out. But he's giving it to me and I'm crashing every 2-3 minutes. So then I say to him, Jace, I'm crashing because I can feel it now. I can't breathe. Tongue. And of course, we're on a shoot. So there's 3 cameras in my face. There's 15 people.
They're like,
this
yeah,
is
let's
gold.
film this.
Yeah, this is
great.
perfect, dude. This is what
Gold.
we're looking
Almost
for.
gonna die. Yeah.
Guy's going to almost die on camera, hopefully not die, and if it does, then we'll delete it or we'll see.
Good clickbait.
So I've got 3 cameras on me. Old Robbo's holding my hand here. The guys are stressing. I've got a medic working. There's another doctor, a local Bolivian doctor, who's working on the other arm. I had a broken hand at the time because a week before I went to dived for a forest cobra and did a spiral fracture in my hand.
Oh, jeez.
His knee is on that hand, so when I can focus, it's like, get your knee off my hand, you know, because I was really sore, that injury. And so then I crashed again, pumps me with adrenaline. So that happens about 4 or 5 times on the bank. So I'm just lying under the trees.
Right.
It's the most picturesque place. And what's going through my mind is I'm 10,000 kilometers away from a family.
Yeah.
It's different when you're young and you're single and you know, you're like a stud muffin. when you got 3 young kids who Rex was 4 years old then.
Yeah.
And it changes things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm meant to be living my dream. And I'm 10,000 k's away from my family, about to die. My little boy's at school, my little girl's at school.
They don't even know.
They're going to take it hard. Yeah.
They're not going to know.
Yeah.
And Dad's meant to be coming back in 2 weeks' time. And then, hey, living the dream, living the adventure.
Yeah, but Dad never comes back.
And you're dying of a leopard water snake. It's not a king cobra. It's not a black mamba got you on the beak.
Cool snake to die about.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
My kids can pick it up, wrap it around their necks, get it chewing on their face, they'll be fine, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm lying there, and these are the thoughts going through my brain. And then it's like fight. But it's not I'm pretty strong mentally in terms of pain and fighting. But you can't fight anaphylaxis. Your body is killing itself, basically.
Yeah, of course.
So I crash again. He gives me another dose. And then he says to me, we're going to have to move you. We have to get you to a hospital. And I'm like, Jace, what are we going to do, bud? Where are we going?
Yeah.
We're in Bolivia.
Yeah.
Just give me the adrenaline. Give me enough. And I'm thinking eventually it'll start working, you know. So he keeps doing that. Then they put me on the stretcher, put me onto one of these dugout canoes. And they're trying to stick oxygen up my nose. And I don't like stuff up my nose. So I'm fighting that off. And I'm just give me the adrenaline. And as we get on the boat, we go out to crash again. He gives me another dose. And he's got me on heart machines and all of that stuff and whatever. And I hear him say to the producer, this is bad.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, it's been bad. But what I didn't know, the top part of my heart had stopped in that last shot for like a second or two. You know what I mean? Apparently that's a bad thing. I didn't know what it means, but he basically said, I can't give you more adrenaline, your heart's going to stop. Because you get too much adrenaline. Because what's happening? Like the
jump starting your heart. Yeah.
So the adrenaline makes everything go tight, your blood vessels and stuff, gets your blood pressure up, right? And then the anaphylaxis is relaxing your blood pressure, so your heartbeat goes right down, or no, your heartbeat goes up because it's pumping, trying to get blood through. Then you give it adrenaline, the heartbeat's like hitting 230 or whatever it was hitting, and then dropping. My blood pressure both times was, when I first had anaphylaxis, was 40 over 11, which you should be dead.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. This one was, I want to say 40 over 20, something like that.
Wow.
And we're getting the adrenaline all the time. And so he says that. So I said, just stick it in me. I've got the heart of a lion. I don't care what you do. I've got the producer he's praying over me. I've got the whole crew crapping their pants. There's 3 boats going, cameras from that boat, camera here, another Aussie cameraman above me here. And now we're on our way to who knows where, you know. Sorry, am I taking too long with the story?
No, it's amazing.
So we're going along like that. And then as Jason said to me, can't give you more adrenaline, the other doctor got a line in, because it's hard to get a line in when your blood pressure keeps dropping.
Of course, yeah.
So he got a line in the other arm, right? And what we did then, that was on a drip. So we pumped adrenaline into that. So instead of it being
up,
crash,
down, up, it's
bang,
like a drip in.
and then I could say, give me more. And just that little plastic wheel, that saved my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you just do that little wheel, and then I can feel it.
Just enough, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, guys, that's cool. Then they hold it like that. And then if it's coming again, they just adjust the wheel. So we went on the boat ride, and I liked the boat because you had fresh air hitting you. So it didn't feel like 15 people around you, can't
humid,
breathe,
sweaty,
all of that.
yeah.
So we got there on the boat. You know what, the one thing, you Americans are organized.
Mm-hmm.
Those productions.
They're crazy, aren't they?
There's an ambulance on the side of the river. Okay, it's a rustic ambulance, a Bolivian ambulance, but it's there. How did that even happen?
Yeah.
So we get there, and they had done a test, kind of, not a test, but they had found out to get a chopper in to airlift $25,000.
Jeez.
And weather was particularly like a low-hanging cloud that day. So that was never going to, and it was going to take us 6 hours to get a chopper in. So that was never going to happen. So that wasn't going to be the thing. We were going to drive back to Runabaki and then go out to whatever. So if something went wrong. So anyway, they picked me up, put me in the ambulance. So in the ambulance, I've got the producer. He's holding an adrenaline injection. I've got the medic who's put the heart machine up on like this little stand, and he's holding my drip. So he's holding the drip like this. I've got the Bolivian doctor. It's still crushing my hand on the side of the bed for some reason. He was obsessed with the broken hand. Yeah. And I've got a cameraman right above me. Big guy.
Still doing
probably
it.
like 240 pounds.
Wow.
Big Aussie guy right above me. So I'm lying on this like stretcher, right? And we go, and it's not like a road. There's no asphalt road or something. It's just a dirt track. We hit this bump.
Boom. Boom.
The back doors of the ambulance fall open. There's a vehicle behind us. You just see a camera. They
got the shot, though. They got the shot.
We come up off that bed, and it's like a wooden plank, really. I come back down. Bah, hit it. The medic was holding like a thing on the roof. That came out the roof. The heart machine fell off the side, almost hit me. He stuck his arm out and stopped it before it hit me in the chest. Part of the camera broke on the roof, and that like smacked his head. And the producer's bleeding out of his elbow because he smacked something at the back. He's still holding the fortunately, he didn't give himself one.
Yeah.
And then we get to this clinic, which looks
How long did it take to get to the clinic?
I think it probably took about an hour and a half.
So you had to go a mile down the river in the ambulance. So you're now an hour and a half.
So now we've gone about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
The whole time you're dripping adrenaline.
Whole time.
Wow.
Sheesh.
So now what's happened is we get into this clinic, right? So now they're trying to get a plane to get in, but the weather's low, it's bad weather, what. And it's not an airport. It's not like there's planes taking off. You're in the middle of the jungle. So fortunately, it's part called the Pampas. People go there for tourism stuff, to go and check out the Amazon, the basin. So I'm lying now on the stretcher with the drip. The drip, I'm feeling okay. I know I'm not out the woods, but my heart's not about to pop any second. But then I start convulsing because of all the adrenaline.
Right.
So I get these shakes. So I'm just saying, is this normal? He says, yeah, no, it's going to be normal. So I'm shaking like this. I'm not cold. I'm just convulsing on this thing there. And while I'm doing this, when I'm in and out of stuff, I'm saying to him, do not phone my wife.
Right, yeah.
Because it's 10 p.m. in South Africa at that time. So these are the kind of thoughts that I have. Like I'm fairly logical with that stuff. So I'm like, some hysterical lady is going to phone my wife and say, he's ducked off on a boat. We don't know what's happening. We can't airlift him out. We'll let you know.
And what's she going to do? Yeah, what's she going to do?
Sitting at home with the 3 kids.
Yeah.
And at that stage, it looked like I was going to die. So some South Africans there at like 3 a.m. Go to bed. But so that's what's happening there. And then I hear, we've got a plane. They ended up bribing somebody who had a little Cessna, who had brought some tourists to the thingy to fly us back. And the guy's like, no. But it was bizarre. So anyway, we get there now. And they kept undressing me because they want to check if I'm getting a rash, because you get a rash from an anaphylactic reaction. So I said, I don't need to tell you. I've got a rash. Okay, it's all over the place. Yeah. And I can tell you when I can't breathe. So
right, yeah.
Stop taking my clothes off the whole time on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, my wife thinks I've got a sexy bod. The rest of the world won't.
Yeah.
So what happens is eventually we get to the plane. Now, I haven't stood in over 2 hours at this stage.
Yeah.
So now I have to stand up to get in the plane. So they got me in a wheelchair. So I try to stand up and I start falling over. The guys grab me. My pants fall down around my ankles.
Oh, my gosh.
It's brilliant TV.
Yeah. Did this air?
No.
They never aired it.
No.
That's so stupid.
Because they had to change their whole thing. I want to get the footage. But everyone I know who worked at the production company doesn't work there anymore.
Right.
I think it's a high turnover business.
Yeah. They go on to other projects, Just
fire people left, right, and center as well. And so we get on the plane, but now we're overloaded. So we've got the medic, myself, a fixer, thank goodness for him, Jaime, what a legend, because he's obviously from Bolivia, he speaks their language. He's got the dollars with him. And then we've got a pilot, and then there was like a student pilot who I don't understand what he was doing there. But so there are 5 of us, and it's like you carry 4 people,
Right.
So Jason is lying in the boot area. What do you call a boot? Trunk.
Yeah, like the trunk,
Trunk holding up my drip. I'm feeling poked. And then somebody gives me my phone as I get on the plane. So, I mean, I don't know where my clothes or anything are, but I get my phone, and I look at my phone, and there's no reception there. I bought a Bolivian SIM card, but we're in the middle of nowhere. And my wife had been, like there's a Find My Phone or whatever app, and she had been just tracking where we were for the day, and she had seen we'd gone upriver, gone to a clinic, which somehow made it onto the map. And now we're at an airport, and she messages me. She says, please don't tell me you've been bitten. What the hell are you guys doing?
Oh, wow.
So now I'm like, I could die.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, you stalker, it's all okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I lied to her. And so we take off from the airplane. And as we take off, we start going up and then we start going down. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? I found out afterwards that all the guys still on the ground are like, we thought you were going to hit the trees.
Wow.
Because it's like this cutout thing in the middle of the forest. And then suddenly we just go woof, up.
Right.
And we just make it out of the trees at that time, because I asked Rob about it and he says, no, they thought they're going to pick us up, you know?
Wow.
And then we fly, and we're flying low, and it's about an hour to this place, Trinidad. It's not the holiday destination, it's a place in Bolivia where they've got a hospital. And as we're coming in now to land in Trinidad, there's this red warning light that comes on the cockpit going beep, 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 beep. And at that stage, I thought, you know what?
Whatever.
God, it's obviously my time. My time has come. Guys, we've done everything we can. My time has come. I'm sorry for the other 4 people I'm taking with me now. You should have. You should have
stayed
let me in
behind.
the
should have stayed
riverbank.
behind, guys.
Yeah.
But the guys, the Bolivians are so relaxed. He just goes around and says, okay. So it carried on beeping, which apparently I found out from a Cessna pilot. That's a stall sign, you know?
Right, yeah. They were
So we're about to stall, but we're all okay.
We're okay, yeah.
And we landed there. There's an ambulance waiting for us there. And then that's when I phoned Kirsty.
Okay.
And I said, babe, because I felt like I'm almost at the hospital.
Yeah, you're gonna
I've had
be okay.
3 hours at this stage of adrenaline.
You're gonna get through.
Yeah, I'm not dead yet.
We're knowing how to cope. I phoned an emergency doctor back in South Africa who knows my symptoms and everything else, and spoke to him, because the medic was saying to me, listen, mate, my job is to get people to hospital. I don't know what to do after that.
Right, yeah.
That's what I do in emergency medicine, you know. So he's talking about stuff like that. So we phoned that doctor. He answered, really good specialist in intensive care stuff. He said, go to the hospital, keep the adrenaline, and then slowly wean yourself off as you're doing everything right, which was great confidence for the medic. Yeah. We go to the hospital. You'd think it's over now.
Yeah.
I lie in the bed, and all I'm saying to Kirsty on the phone is, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just let this show. You know,
Of course, dude.
I feel like, what a failure. You've just dropped the ball. And I have the pressure of this whole production now is ground to a halt. There's 2 of us. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
We're on day like 12. Or
no bullet ant. Yeah.
No bullet ant, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Things you'll do to get away from a bullet ant.
Yeah.
And so then we get into the hospital. We're into the casualty now. Everyone's speaking Spanish, or I think it's Spanish. I can't remember. What do they speak in Brazil? Portuguese. It's
Portuguese,
Spanish.
yeah.
So it's Spanish. So they're speaking Spanish. And now there's one nurse comes up to me, and she doesn't like the way the plaster is on my drip, right? So she wants to change that. So she starts undoing it, and now our fixer's talking to somebody out there about the medication they need, and the doctor comes. So he says, what happened? So I said, I'm allergic to snake venom. We're all allergic to snake venom.
So, yeah.
So I'm a bit like,
you're like, oh shit.
I'm in trouble. Yeah. We got problems here. So then the nurse starts taking off my drip. So I'm like, So I call Jason. So Jason comes, and Jason's like, no. Then the fixer says, can we get the new drip in first before we take the old one out? Took her 15 minutes to put a new drip in.
So
I would have been dead. I would have been dead in hospital. That would have been...
That's ridiculous.
I mean, after all we've been through. So then we get the new drip in, and then we go through to the ICU, right? So I'm expecting it's ICU. I've been in ICU a few times in my life.
Sure.
Go through the ICU. There's no way to call a nurse in ICU.
Wow.
There's an air conditioner, though, which is gold.
Yeah.
It's basically just a room with a bed. It had 2 beds in it. So what ended up happening is our fixer went out to pharmacies there in the town, bought all our medication we needed because the hospital didn't have it.
And then brought it back.
Our medic treated us in their ICU for 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
With our own medicine. Where does that ever happen?
Wow.
Yeah, that is...
So they didn't even have the medicine to do it. You had to get
nothing. And and we got there like 6 o'clock at night. So if the pharmacies are closed,
you're done. You're done.
You don't need a script. So, and I'm talking cortisone. We're getting 500 milligrams of cortisone every 3 hours. They were pumping me full of cortisone. That's why I'm fat, because of all of that. But they were pumping with cortisone, pumping me with adrenaline, and we're there for 2-3 days waiting for the allergic reaction to kind of wear off. I got in trouble from the doctor back in the US because I'm not a good patient. So I'm thinking in my mind they're going to cancel the show, right?
Right, yeah.
Because
cancel the show.
And all the suits in LA this is not good for them.
Sure, right, yeah.
They're like, are we going to get sued? You know, all that stuff. And then So what I'm doing is when my medic's not looking, I'm taking the drip and I'm putting it down. So less adrenaline's going into me because the sooner I'm off that, the sooner I'm out of there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of an impact it had on my body, the whole ordeal, and how much adrenaline I had. I ended up having the equivalent of 57 EpiPens of adrenaline over a 2-day period. So it was a whack,
Yeah, of course.
And as I would turn it down too much, I'd break out in a rash. And I'd just battle to breathe and I'd put it back up. Right. So I did that, and eventually I got a call from the doctor in the US. Says, when you sign up for a show like this, we own you medically. You can't make your own decisions. You listen to what I say. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm not letting you out of this hospital until you listen to what I say.
Yeah.
That was enough for me. Okay, yes, so sorry. I'll listen to what you say now. Because I was keep begging Jace, turn it down, test it, Jace.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, put it back up. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of happened. Dude. And then after the show, we came back and didn't know for a month and a half what was happening.
So they flew back to South Africa.
Yeah, canned the whole show. Cost them, I think I heard, I can't remember the figure, between $1 and $6 million. Because now what had happened was we had booked 4 months worth of shoots. 3 weeks here, back a week.
Yeah, now they got to cancel
accommodation,
it all.
flights, everything's set up.
Yeah.
And now they don't know what's happening to the show as well. So for a month, Rob and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I also had to make my own decisions during that time. Is this what I really want to do?
Yeah.
We're going back into a show where I'm putting venom into my body, not knowing what I'm allergic to and what I'm not allergic to. Yeah. Like a scorpion fish. Am I allergic to a lionfish or a scorpion fish? Well, how am I meant to know?
How would you know what protein? Yeah.
A tarantula, a wasp. I don't know what that protein is, so I don't know if it's in all that. So I'm talking to the doctors about all of that stuff, but it's not an exact science. I haven't found someone who can say, this is the protein, this is what it's in.
Yeah.
So I had decided I didn't want to be back on the show. At the same time, they said the risk's too high. So they phoned me and said, the risk's too high. It's not going to happen. And then that's when Adam came in.
Right.
And so we hadn't filmed an episode yet. So we were then like, are they going to use that as a
it's like
teaser,
a
intro, whatever, because it's sick footage. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But then it's quite difficult to make, here's Adam and Rob.
Yeah.
So then they decided not to use that. They've still got the footage, but Adam and Rob started like that.
Yeah.
And so it was a great process for me.
It's it's crazy that, I mean, obviously it was like, when I talked to the producers before, when I was basically like not interested and stuff like that, they even told me that, we're just ripping off Brave Wilderness. Basically the success of Brave Wilderness was so good that History Channel thought, hey, we could do this, right? It was really, I thought it was a really long shot where history, like, it didn't make a lot of sense, right? Like you can make sense of Oak Island and you can make sense of whatever, but like, okay, Kings of Pain, like, where does this come from? Like, how does this fit into your repertoire? And I know the show did decent enough to maybe get renewed, but not good enough to get slam dunk renewed. And that's why I think it took so long for them to make a decision to get renewed. It is very unusual for a show to go that long and then get renewed. So that's why when I saw Rob's post about being, coming out, I was like, holy cow. But then I think to myself, like, you got bit by some radical shit in season 1. Like, what is season 2 going to do?
How do you up it?
Well,
and like, why would you want to be in? Like Adam and Rob are all in, man. They seem to love it, And I'm like, why would you even? I mean, each of them had surgery afterwards.
Yeah.
So like, and I know, we won't say how much you got paid. It's not a lot.
No,
not for that.
It's not a lot. You're not getting paid much money to have permanent tendon damage and like going to the ICU and almost dying in Bolivia. I mean, you're not getting paid a lot of money for TV, and so I'm actually surprised. Like, I don't know why. Like, maybe like you said, you signed up for season 1, but I mean, after season 1, I'd be like, why? So they got like bit by beaded lizards. I mean, I saw a piece of footage of that.
Did they?
Was it in season 1 or is this part of season 2?
It must be season 2.
Yeah, literally, they're getting bit by a beaded lizard.
Dude.
So I'm surprised by that because originally, and the TV thing's like, originally we were more part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Give us some animals. What do you think? So they were coming to South Africa, so I'd lined up some cool stuff. So maybe something's wrong with me, but I was pushing the envelope. I was saying, okay, night at a bite.
Wow.
Because that's going to stuff. It's basically copperhead, right? It's going to stuff you up.
Yeah.
Not going to kill you, but it's going to ruin your next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Nile crocodile, but like a 2.5 meter, which is what's that? It's
enough
like
to rip you
7-8
Yeah.
foot, but you do it on the thigh. You don't do it on your arm because take your arm off, but you control it. So somebody's on it. So it's not doing that sideways. It's like that. You're doing bite force, right? So I was
nuts.
pushing a bit hard.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no.
And they ended up going for softer animals in that. So I think my wife was a bit happy about that one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, when I was talking to the producers early on, they were like, "Yeah, we want to, do like a Gila monster and a black mamba," and I'm like,
Black mamba.
That's what they told me, and I said, first off, nobody's getting bit by a black mamba on your TV show. I said, second off, you need to get better people to research what you're doing because that is going to kill someone. I said, people die within minutes of being bitten. You can't do that. So they were like, but this was pretty early on where they probably hadn't got into the what can we actually do in this show?
Just ideas.
But again, I thought Rob and Adam did great. I thought they were a great team. I thought that the show was
and they're
entertaining.
great guys, both.
Yeah, So I know Rob he actually was on my Snake Bites channel for an episode.
Okay.
Way back in the day, and then Adam was my fixer in Perth.
Really?
On Venom Hunters.
Okay.
He was the fixer when we were in a place called Joondalup, which is right outside of Perth.
Yeah.
So I met Adam back then. He was our fixer, and then so I knew both those guys anyways, and great guys, and congratulations to them that they've got a season 2. But I think it's crazy to put your body through that. I mean, like you said, tell me now, what has the long lasting effort of getting 57 EpiPens and all this in cortisone? I mean, has that affected you long term?
So when I got back, I went for a run a week later, and because I was quite fit when I went over there, went for a run, I couldn't make half a mile.
Right.
And suddenly I just had nothing. So I phoned the doctor. I said, I think something's wrong with me. He says, are you mad? He says, you put more stress. You took 2 years of stress, you put it into your life in one day. That's what happened.
Wow.
Because I didn't realize the impact of all of that. I was on cortisone for probably 2 months when I got home as well. But massive doses, of cortisone and that. So it took me about 2 years to come right in terms of just strength and energy and
2 years.
And everything else. And cortisone obviously can stay in your system a while too. So packed on the weight because of it.
Yeah.
And my anaphylaxis or my allergic reaction, my hypersensitivity, the more you're exposed to it, the more sensitive you become. So that hasn't helped with that as well. Some things were great. Like I learned a boomslang, I have an anaphylactic reaction to. False water cobra, there's a high probability I have an anaphylactic reaction to. So all those boiga, I can't go and pick up a mangrove snake. If it bites me, it'll be okay. I can't do any of that stuff. Yeah. My kids can, I can't. So Rex earlier, he's picking up false water cobra, no problem.
Yeah.
So now if we get a snake in the house or we get red lip pteroids, it's basically a water snake like that, my kids will go pick it up. I can't. It's a black mamba to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And
so I find it interesting that you have this severe hypersensitivity. Yeah, you keep a lot of venomous snakes. So what's the thinking behind that?
I love them.
You just can't give it up.
You're willing I've to changed things a bit. So
yeah, I see you wear the
so
hex gloves.
I've got hex on my gloves, which I'm wearing. I don't handle in terms of husbandry at all. So I'm not cleaning.
Yeah, because the particles in the air and stuff like that.
I can't touch anything like that. And so I've got guys now who they do all the handling. So I'll get involved, and sometimes I shouldn't, but I get involved. I love it. So I love coming up against black mamba. I love working with the king cobra, but it's very limited to when we're filming now.
Yeah.
Or until I have to. We're busy in December. We got guys at different things. I need to sort this king cobra. It's got stuck shed or whatever. Then I'll do that. We try to limit it as much as possible. We try to plan as much as we can. So on this trip now, I've got a whole pack of adrenalines and all kinds of things.
Good, because we're getting you bit by a mangrove tomorrow. So
because
I think that I won't be like Discovery. We'll use the footage.
Yeah.
We'll use it. We've got a hospital not that far along.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's
better than Bolivia. I mean,
I don't think they've ever treated a snake bite, but when I was on Discovery. The Venom Hunters thing, we had 2 medics, one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast. Neither of them had ever treated a snake bite in their entire life.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, at least they were qualified.
And I remember being so surprised by that, because I was like, so we were we were going for taipans, and we were deep in the bush there too. We're literally 2-3 hours away from the getting anywhere. You know, by the time you get out of the place, and we hiked in for hours and stuff like that. And I remember asking, I said, listen, you know, if I get done by this snake, this taipan, I said, she had oxygen. I said, you have to intubate me and just keep me alive to get me to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be, you know, like it's going to bite me and I'm going to probably be unconscious in 15 minutes. I said, so and I go, you know, do you have any experience at all with this type of stuff? She goes, no, I've never treated a snake bite ever. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm like Discovery, what are you thinking? Like you're getting, you know, because like you said, these productions are massive. I mean, we've got 12 people on the production crew. We've got fixers. We've got this. I mean, and it's a really great experience to be on a TV show. You know, I mean, it's a really interesting experience. You become a family, you know, especially when you're like when we're in Australia, you know, we're 30 something days. They don't, I'm sure this is much similar to what happened with you with history. Like, I mean, obviously it ended abruptly for you, but like, you don't even know when you're going home. Yeah. Like, you know, like when I was in Australia filming, we found out the day before that the filming was wrapped. Yeah. We didn't know. Wow. We literally were like, we might be here for another month. We have no clue. They're just going to film until they decide that they have enough footage, you know? And so the day before we finally got news, like, I think we've got enough. You guys are leaving tomorrow. You know, and they actually even gave us one thing. They said, you can either leave tomorrow or you can stay for an extra day and enjoy Sydney. And I was like, I'm going home. It's been 30 something days. Like I just want to go home. I've seen Sydney before. I've been love the city of Sydney, but I don't need to be in here more. I'm on a plane tomorrow. I'm out, you know, but at the meantime, it's like you do have your family back at home and you do think about your family, but all of a sudden, like in the moment, that's your new family. You know, that sound guy, those camera guys, the producer, the fixers, you know, they become your people, you know, because that's who you eat your dinners with. That's who you sleep, you know, sleeping next door to. You're you know, hanging out with. You're telling stories, you know. And I have a great story about our producer once almost getting done by a western brown snake. Jeez. And so I'll tell this really quick because we've been going long anyways, and we will hit a couple more super chats before we're out of here. But we were in Alice Springs. We're actually in a place called Stillwell Station, which is about 45 minutes outside of Alice Springs. And we were catching brown snakes, mulgas, you know, stuff like that. And we had, you know, much like I'm sure you have your guy, your local guy, right? We had our local guy there, and we were catching the snakes, and then we were putting them in tubs because we got to milk them. You know, that show's all about milking them. You know, and so we're in the tubs, and so we have 3 production vans. And he's putting, you know, this guy's name Rex. He's putting them in the production vans and stuff like that. All of a sudden, there's like a bunch of commotion going on. Like there's some problems, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" So everyone's like, "Stop the production! Go there." One of the brown snakes gone, out of the tub in the van. Now this is a cargo van that has like, you know, nothing in it. So there's like holes in the, you know, like in all
the sides and stuff.
And so there's all the production gear is in this van. Oh no! So we're taking out case by case. We're opening everything up. We're looking in every single thing. We get everything out of the van. It's gone. It's not in there. And so Rex is like, it probably got out of the van. I'm like, there is 0 chance it's out of the van. I go, there is 0. It's in this van. It's in the walls of this van, guaranteed, right? And so Rex is like, no. I'm sure it got away. And I'm like, I tell my producer, I'm like, bro, it's in this van. I said, this is the deal. I said, I don't feel comfortable with anyone in this van anymore. I said, so I go, but we're only there for 3 days. And I'm like, yo, so from now on, one of our fixers who's local and me are the only people that are going to drive in this van. Like we can't. So we're driving back like in the dark with like flashlights, you know, like just looking around and stuff like that. And then, you know, so we get into like our last day there. Yeah. And I'm telling the guys, I'm like, we've got a kind of a moral dilemma here. We can't return this van with a brown snake in this, right? And so by this time we filmed the last piece, and it's still like afternoon, and we're driving back like 45 minutes or something like that. And at this point, we load up all the camera gear into the van, and Renzo, who is our producer at the time, decides he's going to jump in the back. And this has now been 3 days, so we're like, whatever, you know, whatever it is. So literally driving down this bumpy road, boom, 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 and Rex looks back, and literally now Renzo has a ball cap on with a lid on it, right? You know, he looks back and a snake is hanging from the thing, bouncing every time we hit a bump. It's bouncing on top of this thing. He like goes, oh my gosh. Arenze looks up, screams like a mother effer. Now he's like flipping out, slams on the brake. I've got so much adrenaline going. I literally ripped the handle off the door trying to get out of the car because there's no door latch for him to get out, right? Yeah. So I rip the handle off. I get out the car. I fly the doors open. Arenzo's like leaning like this. The snake is dangling like this. Geez. He finally rolls out. And by the way, it's great. Our fixer's name was Cam. Cam rolls immediately on his cell phone. Like immediately he's rolling. So as we've got the whole footage of like opening the door, the snake is swinging, Arenzo falls on the ground. We even do OTFs afterwards. We're doing OTFs and stuff like that. You know, we phone ahead to the other two vans that had left like 20 minutes earlier. They turn around, their camera guys. We in the meantime, now Arenzo's out. They're screaming. I'm trying to get this brown snake that's like hooked through a bunch of things. It's trying to bite me. I'm like trying to get it out and blah, blah, blah. All this other stuff. Finally, the guys roll up, blazing cameras, shoot the whole thing. And much like you, never aired any of it. Never aired it. And that was the gold, man. That was like, it was, I mean, literally, because Arenzo is this like, he's a black guy, big buff dude, you know, he's screaming like a little girl, like you couldn't believe. And but they didn't air any of that at all. It was like, you know, there were so many things, and you know this. I mean, there's so many things that over the course of the 30-something days we shot that series that were so good. That would have made that show an amazing success, and they cut out because they didn't. So what the thing was, it was me and Chewy. My guy Chewy was with me. So Chewy's a goofball, man. He's a complete comedian, like, you know. So and they cut all his funny stuff out.
And that's why YouTube does better now than TV shows.
Yeah, I mean, they cut out because they were like, oh, we want it to be serious. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, but
because they're trying to meet a demographic or a preconceived.
They're thinking their demographic is this, you know, serious.
And they were so wrong. They were so wrong because when the show ended up, we were much like Kings of Pain. We were right on that threshold of like we could have got renewed or we might not have gotten renewed. You know, it was like one of those things where it wasn't a flop, but it wasn't a success. It was like it was in that 17 to 20 range where you're doing, you know, you're like 17th in ratings, 20th in ratings. If you're 15, you're getting renewed. If you're 30, you're getting canceled. Sure. You know what I mean? And so we were right there. They ended up not renewing. But then they focus grouped like the show, and Discovery even came back and told me the only thing that focus grouped good out of the entire show is mine and Chewy's fun stuff, the stuff that they did, but they didn't put enough of it. And the producer, literally the showrunner, even said we should have made it really about you and Chewy and all the fun that you guys were having. He said we just missed the mark on that one, and it's too late now. Now it's like, you know, again, like you said, they're putting millions and millions of dollars into a series. They're not going to roll the dice on a second season. You know, that's why it's really strange and it's almost unprecedented for a show like Kings of Pain to go almost 2 years not renewed and then renew it. Like that's almost unprecedented for that to happen. So congrats to Rob and Adam,
good for
you know.
Them,
yeah, you know, I mean,
and they've clearly survived it, so that's good.
Yeah, they've survived it. I can't imagine what they, you know, got through. I mean, that's got to be horrible.
I'll be keen to see.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's just crazy, but good for them, you know. I know they have a Snapchat show. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, they have a Snapchat show. That's
I don't even know what Snapchat is, to be honest.
Oh, okay, it's an app.
Weird app.
It's an app. But it's you can make some pretty good money on Snapchat shows, and they have a show called Kings of Pain on Snapchat.
Is it?
Now I don't know if History Channel owns it or if Robin and Adam own it. I have no idea, but you know, I'm hoping they're making some money on that. They probably could make more money on the Snapchat show than the TV show, to be honest, by far. So let's hit these supers and get out.
I'm just going to shoot to the toilet while you do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go.
Prim says hello from South Africa. Thanks, Prim.
Prim, I know you're very late at night. Go to sleep.
Grape Eater says, what are your thoughts on Brave Wilderness being bitten by everything he has been bitten by?
You know, let's save this one for Dingo to come back. I think that's going to be an interesting thing. Gosh, we have went long tonight.
Yeah.
Let's come back to that one.
Daniel says, great to see Dingo checking in. Any helpful markers to differentiate northern from southern African rock pythons?
I mean, they're pretty. I mean, Natalensis are pretty different. I mean, you know, the look is a little bit, the patterning is a little bit different. But the biggest thing is that, you know, the Seabay is you know, they get giant. They get 18 foot, 20 foot, whereas the Natalensis are 8 to 9 foot.
Wow.
There aren't very many Natalensis in the country though, but they look similar. But you'll see a reduction of pattern in the sides in the Natalensis. So you put a Natalensis back to a Seabay. I mean, you know, Seabay. It's pretty considerable difference. difference. But if you saw both of them independently,
Separately, you probably
wouldn't be much. But the size is half the size.
We'll save this one too. When's Dingo going to Nerd? He's going, what? Is he leaving here Sunday?
Monday. He'll be there Monday.
He'll be there Monday.
Yep.
Wild Boy Dev says, glad to have made it to the live. Great seeing two legends both do an awesome job educating the world. Happy that you're back on YouTube, Dingo. And what's the mature age of a king cobra?
We'll ask that too. So we've got 3 things to ask Dingo when he gets back.
Solid Serpent says, and this is another Dingo one. So he said, Dingo, have any experience breeding mole snakes? If so, help Brian with this, will you? I'm waiting for those babies.
We're hoping, man. We're hoping. We definitely. I will ask him about that.
Jimmy,
another South African.
Yeah, he says, hi, Brian and Dingo. It's Jimmy from Joburg, South Africa. I met Dingo at his farm in Piggly Wiggly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My biggest dream is to meet Brian in person and to meet Dingo again.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. I will come to. I'll be in Joburg May of next year at the show, the SOS show. So.
Kristen says, sorry for the $1, but I'm recently a victim of fraud, big time. Anyhow, I am so appreciative of everything you have done and do. Brian, thank you for y'all putting your lives on the line for us viewers. Love you.
Thanks, Kristen. I appreciate you so much. And I won't do, I promise.
Brittany threw some love. She has a message here too, but it was retracted, so I don't know what it says.
Thank you, Brittany.
And then that's it for now.
Okay, so we'll just answer those last 3 things, and if we'll wrap it up and see and stuff. It's been a really interesting conversation. What do you think, man?
I mean, I didn't even know I was coming up here. I thought I was gonna meet you and whatever, and then I hear
Dingo's here,
and you're chilling on the podcast.
Yeah, and then tomorrow night we have a VIP party as well, after hours, 8 to 10. That's going to be really fun. Obviously some people Laura's flying in, and a bunch of people are coming in. It's going to be really a fun time, after hours with Dingo and his fam, and just hanging out at the Reptarium. We haven't done an after hours event since COVID started, so this will be the first time. So it's really exciting to see that. But
yeah, dude. It's been a long time.
But I could sit. I'm sure, Jay, you feel the same way. I could sit here and listen to Dingo stories.
Oh yeah, I don't even need
all day long.
I think I'm gonna have maybe do. He should get on what's it called? Cameo, right? Is that what it is? What's the one that you do all the time?
Yeah, Cameo. Are you on Cameo?
I'll have you sing me lullabies, dude.
Are you on Cameo? The app Cameo?
I think I downloaded it once.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
sing me Baba Black Sheep.
Yeah, Jay's going to be your biggest guy. So we got 3 super chats for you.
Great Beater said, "What are your thoughts on Brave Wilderness being bitten by everything he's been bitten by?"
I think they're brilliant.
Me too.
He's done great, man. He's crushed it.
20 million subscribers. You're doing something right.
Yeah, he's a good guy too. He's a good friend of mine.
He got in at the right time in terms of what he was doing. Like, you couldn't do that these days.
No. He's got to tone. He had to tone his content. And I talked to him, and maybe I don't know if I should say this.
Probably not,
because he's a good. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
we talk and no, I think I can say it because I don't think it's anything bad. But they're only going to make 20 videos this year.
Yeah.
He's just
making real crazy
super high end videos.
Aren't they on Animal Planet or something like that?
No. They had one season on Animal Planet, but they didn't go past one season. But yeah, he said that he just wants to do every other week, a killer video, a banger video, as opposed to doing once or twice a week.
For sure.
So yeah, but good guy, man.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. I think that.
He's the industry standard, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's the big guy.
And he's
man,
a ceiling too.
And he's a good guy. I mean, let me tell you a quick story. We went to his Animal Planet premiere. He invited us to our Animal Planet premiere down in Columbus, Ohio, and we just it was at a movie theater.
And we're YouTubers,
and we're thinking I was thinking that it was going to be okay, his premiere is going to be maybe some fans, and maybe friend. I have no idea, right? So Jay, myself, and another friend of mine show up, and
just how we're dressed now.
T-shirts, T-shirts, stuff like that. We're the first people there because it's a 3-hour drive, 3-hour and 15-minute drive. We're the first people there. We show up. We're sitting in this kind of it's oh wow, this is
Coyote there yet?
No.
Nobody's there. We're the only people.
We're the only one there. And so we show up.
Kind of fancy.
It's wow, it's kind of fancy in here. This is kind of nice. First people show up
prom night.
Tux and dress.
Yeah.
And we're
goodness.
And it's all family.
Okay. All right. 200 people or so show up. Everyone is dressed to the hilts.
Yeah.
I mean, Coyote shows up in a top hat, in a suit, and stuff like that.
We thought the Queen was coming.
And we're sitting here in T-shirts and stuff.
You're just putting their YouTube reputation.
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh!
This is how YouTubers roll.
So it turns out that everybody that was there was somehow like his old boss, people that supported him financially, but at one point he even says, he goes, every person in this theater right now, because he gives a little talk, he goes, I could go by thing by thing and tell how impactful you've been on my journey to get me where I am today. And I'm going, except for me.
Except for Brian Barczyk.
Except for me and my idiots that all look like we came out of the...
Those three in civvies.
But he was great about it. I mean, I obviously went up and I said, dude, I feel like a complete idiot for not dressing. I didn't know. And he's like, no, I'm so happy you're here. And he was super cool about it. And I really liked his Animal Planet show.
Me too.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it never got to us.
It did very, very bad. I'm talking like,
yeah.
You know how I said, 15 to 20? Yeah. So it was like 130.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it was like 130.
Crush is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, he was getting like we were in Venom Hunters. We were doing like 1.2 million views, on Discovery. I think his show was getting like under 100,000. Wow. This is a guy that does 1 million plus almost every video he puts out.
Get
on
100,000 views in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and he was it just tanked. So because he had a 3-year deal, a 3-season deal, and they canceled it after season 1. So. Anyways, but yeah, I love coyotes. So,
Solid Serpent says, Dingo, do you have any experience breeding mole snakes? If so, help Brian with this, will you? I am waiting for those babies and wild house snakes common near you.
I've got some baby mole snakes at home at the moment.
Did you produce them or did you?
No.
You ever bred them?
No.
I hear they're hard though.
I just get them cold.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
and they can be a bit rough when it comes to mating and stuff.
Okay,
but I've actually got 4 babies and I've got 2 sub-adults, maybe adults.
Yeah.
That I'm actually looking at sending a shipment over to the US shortly.
Well, send me some.
I'll send some. I'll trade you for green anacondas.
Perfect.
Done deal.
There we go.
Yeah?
I want that and more Cape file snakes. I have 3 pair of Cape file snakes.
And you want more?
Oh, I want all of them. All of them.
I can get you Cape file snakes.
All of them. Not just a couple.
Rolf and Rolfie breed.
I know.
Yeah.
I
So we'll
love
do the
those
same
guys.
shipment. We'll just add them in.
Perfect.
Gone.
I actually would like to buy a lot from Ralph and Ralph because they got a lot of cool stuff, man.
We must talk then. No, they're good guys.
Yeah, I
They're
love
good
them,
mates
man.
of
Love
mine.
them, man. Love them.
And then
You guys got the albino white lip, right?
Yeah. So what happened is I got the original female in Germany, 2016. So my mate bred them there accidentally. He got 2 green ones, out popped 4 albinos, 4 albinos. So I begged, borrowed, steal to get 1. I think I paid him like, I don't know, 4,000 euros or something stupid for the 1 snake. Because the nice thing about them, they're beautiful as babies and as adults.
Yeah.
Got it over, but I don't know anything from genes. I'm into like a Mangshang Vapa.
Yeah.
I don't know het, this, that, whatever. And even though it's very simple that, I said to Rolf, do you want to come in on it? We'll go 50-50 on the project. You keep them, you breed them, you cross this one back to that so that the genes are still strong. So they took them over. Market in South Africa is quite small for any venomous stuff.
Sure.
So now just recently this week, he wants to focus more on his colubrids. He's done really well with colubrids. So he's cutting down on his venomous. So I took our 50% back just before I came here.
Okay.
So that's part of the shipment I'm going to send out is albino white-lip tree vipers, some hits for those. They're beautiful.
So you guys haven't sold any yet?
We sold a couple in South Africa.
Okay.
But we also went in a rush,
What's the price on them?
Probably about $1,000 a pop.
That's it? I think you guys are too cheap.
Probably.
I think you get 5,000 here. I think you get 5,000 here.
Is a different market.
Yeah, but here I think you get 5,000.
Export it, get $5,000.
There we go.
I could help. I bet you I could help you with
Okay,
that.
help me, mate.
Yeah,
because I've got the shipment now of stuff going, and they're pumping. They're thriving.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, I think you're undervaluing them. Let's make Dingo's zoo a little bit. Let's make Dingo's a zoo.
Well, do you know what I'll do with the money? I'll leave the dollars here. Get animals from here to bring back.
Yeah, exactly.
Croc monitors. Hello.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you could probably trade a pair for a croc monitor.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Yeah, I guarantee you, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brittany said, Brian and Dingo are my favorite. Hope to meet you both someday.
I hope so too,
Thanks,
Brittany. I really do hope so.
And then Scottish Rob said, glad to check in with you guys. Best to you all.
Thank you, Scottish Rob.
And Adam says hi from, is that Joburg?
Joburg, South Africa.
South Africa.
Wow, you're up
any
late
experience
tonight.
with Caspian cobras?
He's asking you.
Not me. I don't have anything. No.
I got nothing. I've got a friend who's had some, but nothing myself.
Yeah.
They're not very common in the trade.
Really?
A couple in Germany, but
right,
that's about it.
No, they're beautiful, but yeah, I've never messed with them. So, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had an absolutely amazing time. Dingo, thank you. Evan, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. You're great, man. It's going to be amazing.
I just wanted to say, before we say goodbye to everyone, how blown away I've been today.
You've been happy?
From the moment you picked us up, and what I appreciate about you is that when we met even 3 years ago, with all 1,000 subscribers I had, you were open, you were helpful, you were giving me everything you can to help.
Well, I appreciate
you come here today, the work you're doing, I want to put in some videos too, to just celebrate it, but it's just, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, Brian. You are a brother from another mother.
Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate everything that you're doing. What you're doing here is fantastic.
Oh, well, listen, man.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
No, yeah, I know. I'm going but, no, and listen, I said this last week.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, we have huge respect for you.
Thank you.
I have been looking forward to coming to visit you here for years now. And seeing it and seeing you again in person, you are even better in person than you come over videos.
Well, thank you.
You meet some people, I know we've met before, but spend time with some people and it's like a bit of a wank in person. And you are stellar, mate. Honestly,
seriously.
I want to spend as much time with you in the future. I want to
we got
having family around you, spend time. Animal Con, everything. It's just
Well, we definitely gonna get you to Animal Con 100%. You're going to be there, I guarantee. And thank you. And I don't take compliments easy. That's why I probably was trying to stop you. It's like I'm like, but thank you. I do appreciate you so much. And we've talked about it in the past how I think you have everything it takes to be as big as Brave Wilderness. I really do believe that. And I think it's just a production thing, and I think it's just, tweaking some things, and I'll do everything I can do to push you. You're one of the good guys, man, and you need to be that way. And everyone feels that way about you. That's the thing. You don't have anyone that's like Dingo is terrible. You know what I mean? It's like, Kevin hasn't even done a hate video on you yet.
Hey, how's that, eh?
Yeah.
So give it time. Monday's coming.
As soon as I'm going to text Donnie right now.
Start building up footage. Get that sizzler going.
Yeah, Donnie messaged me today.
Did he?
Yeah, Donnie messaged me.
Let's read it online.
What did Donnie say?
What did Donnie say?
Hey, Hollywood.
Hey, Hollywood.
If you have any bright ideas for a video, let me know so I can maybe help you.
See awesome. That? I got an idea. I got an idea. Let's do a exposed video on Brian Barczyk.
Smart. He'll do good.
Donnie, I just spent 2 days with him. I've got some information.
I got some footage on my phone. He was kicking kittens.
You should have seen him, how far they went.
Yeah, he was. Some kid came up and wanted to take a picture. He smacked him. Yeah, it's perfect. I love it. So, no, but thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys. I think I'm going to do a podcast this Wednesday, so hang in there. Love you guys, and peace out, man. See ya. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Thank you, buddy.
No, it was great stuff, man. It was really fun. This was fun. We went way longer than I wanted to as far as I was